Drew Olson. Billy Schmidt off today. Armen is here. And it's like one of the things that we always say about Armen, now that he's back on X, is that he doesn't fear the smoke from Bears fans, Cubs fans, Illinois residents, just anybody who stands opposed from one of his, sometimes well-crafted and sometimes just haphazardly emitted thoughts into the X-verse.
And opinions into the atmosphere.
But today I'd like to duck the smoke because there's smoke everywhere out there and it sucks.
Absolutely, Drew. I don't like to duck the smoke, but I would gladly duck this if I could. I went out to fire up the grill last night, and I said, "Someone already started it. What's going on out here? Who's burning the? Do my burgers smell like that? I hope not." And then I quickly realized, oh no, what I thought was oppressive conditions, just the heat, changed to oppressive conditions when this stupid Canadian wildfire smoke punched us right in the face again.
I think blame Canada might be wrong. I thought it was them too for the tariffs, but I thought it's from Minnesota.
I heard, Minnesota is to blame also. So not only is it Canada, I think it's both, from what I read at least. But there is a lot in northern Minnesota as well that's creating some of our problems. And wouldn't you know it, once again, it's Minnesota to blame. I wouldn't be surprised. They did it again to us. And absolutely oppressive out there. Terrible. And it stinks because we only get so many, not to mention that, the health concerns. You have to breathe air, but we only get so many days like this. We wait all year for summer, and then to have that happen here and to have to deal with this smoke is, to say the least, uncomfortable and could be dangerous too. So unfortunately, this wildfire smoke has been hoisted upon us once again from our neighbors to the north.
It was 2 years ago that we had this, the whole couple of weeks of the Canadian fires?
I'm trying to remember exactly because I feel like, there are certain things we talk about our nostalgic youth. I don't feel like this was anything we ever dealt with in my youth. I never remembered being a kid.
Either.
I remember cryptosporidium. I remember, all kinds of things when I was a kid. Quicksand, all these things they would tell you to worry about. We had tornado drills. We had all these things. Drew, obviously you're of a different vintage, but I never remember, hot UV, ozone layer. We had to worry about that. Never had I remembered them warning us or at least having an issue in the summer with wildfire smoke. And all of a sudden it's happened like 2 or at least 3 times. I feel like maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 4 or 5, like this was a thing that we've had to check this and deal with this. And I'm like, what's going on here? Is it just because things are getting warmer all the time or what? And then I saw a report that said, well, if it starts snowing, it'll fix that. I'm like, well, might have a few months left for that, even though it is Minnesota and Canada, might have a few months to wait for it. So unfortunately, once again, we're just sitting around waiting for this to leave us. I don't know when it's going to be.
We've got the local news on the television here in the soon-to-be-named studios. And Impact Day, children's asthma alert. Don't exercise outside if you can help yourself. Toronto had some orange skies yesterday that were pretty wild. And they're I'm actually coughing now because it tickles the back of your throat. It's
like an allergy. It's almost like an
allergy. It's like being at a campfire and everybody like, oh, I love it. We were on a bonfire and those are great. And then you get home and you smell like the campfire and you can't escape it.
Sure.
That's why I don't drink scotch, because Scotch whiskey to me has that finish that feels like you're swallowing a campfire. Yeah. And that's what we're doing outside right now.
Yeah, and the Scotch guys love it, don't they?
Yeah.
They always like, is there a lot of peat? Is it peaty?
A lot of peaty. So, I'm not taking air quality for granted anymore. It's one of the things that and now, like, you can't make a salad. You got to worry about produce. And Armen's favorite thing in the world is to go shop for produce.
I do love it. I mean, I enjoy the looking for deals at the grocery store, but this is not a good time for that either.
No.
You have to watch what you're eating this week. Have to watch what you're breathing. Can I just enjoy an all-star week of no sports? I mean, it's bad enough to not have any sports this week. Yeah. Well, except for the World Cup, excuse me, and we'll talk about that. But it's bad enough to have no sports, Drew. It's bad enough I can't have air to breathe either and any lettuce. Man, I mean, it's pretty brutal out there. And not to mention, it's been so hot. Like, it's one thing to have the heat in the July. Like, okay, it's hot in July, big deal, uncomfortable, but you can't even deal with it now. Yeah. Some people are going to say, what's the big deal? I'm staying inside anyway. I get it, but there's a point in time when it's like you can't even get the air inside to be cleared. So I hope this clears up soon. But the
This sucks.
It's not just us. It's the Rust Belt. I mean, the Eastern Seaboard is going to start to deal with this. So
it sucks. It sucks. And it was rolling down from the north because I have a friend who was up in Minocqua, and I guess it was bad up there yesterday.
Probably
they got it before
worse.
us, so it's rolling down. And I don't know what we need. Do we need a stronger west winds, or does that hurt us, or do we need a south wind to push this stuff up north? I don't know what the answer is. I just want it to be over. Let's get it cleared up. I'm leaving town on Friday to start my vacation with a weekend away, and hopefully where I go, I won't have to worry about the air quality index. But I'm traveling to Tornado Alley, so I don't know if that's like good or bad.
Poison. No, I think the air should be clear. I mean, it'll be hot down there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But 877-794-1973 is your ticket to join us on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Check in, say hi. We love 5 o'clock clubbers, folks that are with us right now. And we start the day's program. We spent a lot of time in recent shows forecasting, and I don't mean weather forecasting or smoke forecasting. What the Brewers were going to do at the deadline. And lo and behold, Matt Arnold made a move yesterday, picking up a pitcher of some renown. Now, I would have liked to have seen the Brewers acquire the Lance McCullers of like 2018, 2020.
That's what we do, though, right, Drew? That's what we do.
Yeah.
On brand, our MO for what was Julio Teheran a couple of years ago.
Lance McCullers Jr. is coming to Milwaukee.
Yes, and you remember it. He's had some really good years.
And and they're also getting Colton Gordon, who might end up being a key to this. But
that might be their whole. That might be their whole life.
Lance McCullers he's only 32 years old, but he's been around a while. And first round pick of the Astros, the only organization he's known in 2012. Debuted in 2015, All-Star in 2017, and a playoff hero for the Astros. He pitched some high-leverage, big games, and came up big for the Astros.
Huge. Yeah, 2 World Series, huge performances.
Huge.
He's never really strung together the consistency from year to year to year to make him one of these guys that's a perennial Cy Young candidate, All-Star, but he's had those spikes in performance in the playoffs that's earned him some renown in as a player. The career numbers aren't anything spectacular, but he's shown greatness at certain times. And as he struggled, I guess the Brewers are doing it again. They're gonna try and fix another, right, Drew?
I think, This isn't the move. This isn't like, okay, here we got it. Let's go. This is like the first move.
Yeah, maybe what we think.
And they traded nothing except absorbing the rest of it. This is a salary dump by the Astros. I don't know. I haven't done a deep dive into Colton Gordon to see if that lefty's got promise. You know how the Brewers are with, acquiring pitchers and turning them into something.
Correct. That's kind of their thing.
But the Astros are picking up some of the salary. The Brewers are only picking up $2.5 million of his $17 million salary. It's the final season of a deal that he signed. And, and maybe they'll sign him to a lower deal when he's a free agent. If maybe he'll go back to Houston on a lower number. But the Astros are dumping salary and getting rid of a guy that's, popular there, long tenured. He's been hurt.
Missed a couple of years due to injury. I didn't know that was a long.
He's on the injured list now.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks are like, oh, this is Trevor Rosenthal all over again. And the Brewers, initially it said the Brewers were just sending cash. And they were just picking up, the salary. But then it came out that the Brewers are trading Jaden Fielder.
Yep.
Prince's son, who's been doing pretty well at A-ball. He's an older player at A-ball, but he's been doing pretty well, and he's Prince's son. And that came a day after the feel-good story from the All-Star game that Kurt Hogue of the Journal-Sentinel wrote about CeCe Sabathia's son joining the organization via the draft.
Yep, young Karsten.
And joining up with his friend, Jaden Fielder, because they were buddies and their dads were buddies on the 2008 team. And, proud Brewer dads with their sons in the organization. And that story had a shelf life of about 24 hours. And then it was, boom, gone.
Poor Kurt. I think it's interesting.
Feels like a jinx.
Yeah, on a number of angles. It's interesting. On one hand, most Brewer fans wouldn't know any A-ball player of the Wilson Warbirds that just got, moved up to that level from Adam. They wouldn't, right? I mean, there's most casual Brewer fans don't know those names. Jaden Fielder, obviously, being the legacy, is one of those guys I also think, Drew, has kind of outperformed his status He was an undrafted free agent, right? I mean, he was looking to be I think he was one of those guys. Tell me if I'm wrong. And if you remember that Ned Yost's son got drafted, it's one of those, not a favor, but it's one of those kind of just ceremonious picks. I don't think anyone ever looked at Jaden Fielder as a future prospect that's got a legit chance to make the major leagues. But
he's hitting well there.
But now he's hitting well. So the Brewers kind of developed value out of him as a prospect to say, you know what?
Yeah.
If we have to give you something, this is the something we're going to give a 21-year-old A-ball player.
I think maybe, for Houston, like his name alone,
the name
makes it like, okay, we remember his dad and like his grandpa. So, okay. And, there's something to be said for the legacy there.
The bloodlines, obviously, that's the first thing anyone will bring up because it's not, he doesn't hit for power. He's done it. He takes walks. He's done a good year, have a good year in doubles, I think. But it's like, it's interesting because you wonder, would anyone have wanted another A-ball player if it wasn't Jaden Fielder? But hey, why not? This is the epitome of a low-risk, high-reward move, in my opinion. You get a young pitcher that's kind of a guy that you can kind of mold. You get an old guy that was good, but he's obviously a project in terms of trying to fix him and get something productive out of him. And you give up basically cash and a player you never projected to be in the big league team, other than just the good vibes of having Prince's son.
That's right. All right, so McCullers is on his way to Milwaukee today. And the interesting thing about him is, again, he is Mr. Astro. He's their veteran, the longest tenured Astro, one of the links to that, to their championship teams.
Kind of, they're Woody in a way,
In a way,
in
absolutely.
Some ways, yeah.
And he had, as part of his 5-year, $85 million extension that he's writing out this year with a $17 million salary, he had full no trade rights, which he had to waive. And he's also a 10-5 guy, which means he has 10 years of major league service, 5 consecutive years with his current team, which so he had double the no trade, right? He would have had a no trade even if it wasn't in his contract. Mm-hmm. He would have had the no trade, and he waived it to come to Milwaukee because he knows the Brewers. He's played in Milwaukee enough, and he knows the Brewers are, a good setup, well-run organization, and he's got a chance to have some fun in the playoffs with a new team.
Yeah, a chance to be in a contender, right?
Yeah, so he was he consulted his family, and here's his quote to the Houston Chronicle. He said, "I felt like it was going to put the Astros in the best situation moving into the rest of the year, getting close to the deadline, letting them get a prospect back for the future, remove some salary to have some freedom at the deadline. And it also felt like it was a good move for me in my career." So he's looking at the big picture and helping the team that he loves and the only organization that he's known. "Since I've been an Astro, since I was 18 years old, I never wanted to play for another organization or anything like that. But I think everything kind of comes to a time where sometimes you have to move on. I think this was just a situation where I can be proud of what I helped accomplish here and what I did here, but also understand the fact that I would put the team in a better situation if I did move on and possibly put me in a better situation for the rest of the season as well." Now they're bringing up some young kids and they needed 40-man spots and they wanted to dump salary. So, they create roster flexibility and they got something for him. And it's, everybody wins in this, right? If McCullers pitches well, the Brewers really win because it's kind of a low-cost acquisition. And again, for people who say, well, they go get this guy, he's hurt and he's been mediocre. And this isn't the only move to me. Like this is the first move. And I said, we needed you needed Matt Arnold to get 1, maybe 2 starters, maybe even more. Who knows? It's like, can you have enough arms to choose from?
You can't.
And McCullers is coming back and grinding his way through an injury rehab. And the Brewers are certainly been injured themselves. Now, Colton Gordon is 27 years old when athletes peak. He's had 24 appearances this year for the Astros. His ERA is just under 6, but he's got a lot of options left. And he's got minor league options left and a lot of team control. He might end up being the key to this.
He might be the one the Brewers had targeted.
The Brewers might say, okay, get him in the lab, let Hook and Henderson work with him, and then turn him into something there.
And they've done it so many times. It would be kind of naive of us to think they wouldn't try to do it again and have a good track record of success doing so. They obviously target that inefficiency in the market of guys that have not performed well, but they see something in terms of whatever their ability is, pitching, certain pitch, spin rate, that they say we can change his strategy. We can tweak one thing here and there, make him better. They did it with Quinn. They did it with Harrison, multiple guys. We know the story about that. And I think they look at 2 guys on different ends of the career saying, all right, one One's a prospect that's older. One's a veteran that had good years but's been injured and hasn't done it for a while. Maybe we can take one of these guys, kind of tweak them, see what happens. It's a low-cost deal. The only frustration I could see here is for Brewers fans is this is, we don't want this. We want to finally go with it, we want to finally drive the sexy car. We want to finally, buy the shiny toy. We don't want to have to go thrift shopping again, even though it's worked, even though it's sustained our family for so long. We don't want to have to shop at the thrift store anymore. We want to go get a designer brand name thing. It's like that's the only thing I could see. But like you said, Drew, I don't think this ever, this in any sense means they're done, obviously. I just think it's a move. The Brewers said, we can make this move here. This isn't going to cost as much. This is a shot we could take at two pitchers, and they're going to do it. It's a low-risk move. You talk about the money, it's not, you cover some of the salary. It's minuscule. It's cash. And unfortunately, as much as the vibes are nice, giving up Jaden Fielder, I don't think is going to really ever, if he was never penciled in to any stretch, there may be a 0.05% chance he would ever make the big league club. So he's not part of your future. And you try and see what you can get if there's anything to squeeze out of the orange with McCullers and maybe something to unlock with Colton. So let's see what the Brewers can do. But they continue to be aggressive to try and find ways, right? Drew, we talked about the pitchers. Hopefully this is only the first step. And obviously it doesn't take them anywhere out of the bidding to make a bigger move if that's what they want to do down the road. But I like that they did it early too. Trying to get it done early.
He'll be here. I don't know when he's going to be penciled in. He was just rehabbing. Now he's coming back from a shoulder impingement, and he's had a whole litany of injuries. So he's kind of like their Woody. He's kind of like a ticking time bomb. And again, I don't think this is the move. It's not like, okay, let's battle for the playoffs now. We got Lance McCullers, so let's go. It's a move. It's a veteran guy. He's a pillar of the Astros organization, good clubhouse guy. Mm-hmm. Even if he's hurt, and he and Woody just, dress as cheerleaders, good guys to have to counsel the younger pitchers and stuff through the, through the big moments down the stretch that the Brewers are going to face. So, and
he's been around big moments in the playoffs, World Series. Maybe that's part of that.
I remember him. I think it was like he pitched like he put up a bunch of zeros in a game 7 of a series. It might have been against the Yankees in the LCS or something, but I remember him. He pitched in a game 7, so he's been through it. So, all right, kudos to the Brewers. This is a start, and it's only we're still a couple weeks away from the trade deadline. The Brewers have bolstered their rotation. And they got themselves a guy, and maybe a young guy that they can take a flyer on. So,
and he's always been a starter, Drew. Maybe there's a chance they could see him like, all right, you can give us some bullpen innings. It's possible.
We will see. 877-794-1973. Billy's off today, taking a well-deserved day off. He's off today and tomorrow. I'm out next week. It's vacation season because training camp starts in less than 2 weeks for the Green Bay Packers. But we are soldiering on without Billy. With our air quality being awful. I'm just watching the graphics of the surface smoke. Oh my God.
I hope Billy decided to do something indoors for his
horrific.
Trip.
Well, he's helping his parents move today.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, God, that's gonna be brutal.
That's not gonna be good.
What a way to take a couple of days off.
Yeah.
Billy, come home. I need your help with this dresser.
Not spectacular. But alas, we will move forward. We'll plow through. If you're just getting up, man, here's a funny thing. You know how this was such a point of contention? I just saw on TV, like if you have asthma problems or breathing problems, they're suggesting that you wear a mask today.
Oh, here we go again.
There's big government telling you to wear a mask.
I hope everyone saved their N95.
Oh my God.
Boy, the discounts you could have got. I don't know.
I remember working out with those things. I had to work out with a mask on at Orange Theory back in the day. We're back to that now. Hopefully this will clear up soon. All right. So it's foggy. It's smoky out there. But we're good inside this air-conditioned studio of ours. Can still taste it, though. Just even from walking in from the car. I still got it.
We're kind of on the end of the building.
My sinuses.
I do have a fan in here, Drew, but I don't want to mess with the audio quality of our broadcast.
Yeah, well, that's because
people are going to hear that. I don't know.
True pro.
Maybe I'll turn it on, though. I'm not that professional.
All right. Let's hear from you.
I heard that
you like Bruce
yesterday.
We're also going to talk about the World Cup. Another just gut punch loss yesterday. If you're a fan of the Three Lions, the English side against Messi and Argentina, Argentina goes through and plays Spain.
What a game. What a match, I should say.
What an incredible match. It further cements the theory of the show that 90% of being a fan is getting kicked in the nuts, and that was a huge kick.
Yeah.
And I texted our pal Aaron Nagler, who was rooting hard for England last night.
You see why the world loves this game now.
Oh,
I mean, it is absolutely incredible.
A cruel mistress, too. We'll talk about that. What sport is the most cruel? when it comes to disappointing endings and stuff like that. You can make a case that it's the grand old game that we're watching right now on the world stage, football with a U. What sport has the most cruel endings? That we're also going to talk about your sports bucket list, because my dear friend and former running mate on these here airwaves and interwebs, Dan Needles, crossed one off yesterday. He played St. Andrews in Scotland.
Oh boy, big deal.
He's been dreaming about that course since he first saw it as a kid, like 50 years ago, and now he's played it. And he played it pretty well. We're going to talk about that as we move forward. We got plenty to get to. Get yourself a comfortable chair and a cold or hot beverage of your choice. And N95 masks are optional today. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Oh, Armen, bringing us back. Smoking in the boys' room.
You may sense a theme in the bumps today.
I just went to the little reporter's room, and there are portions of this building where the smoke is seeping in, and it's definitely in the air. It's rough.
You'll see behind me on the video. You can watch us always, by the way, YouTube, X, Facebook.
Indeed.
You can watch us broadcast on the video stream. I did start the fan, so I don't know that that'll help, but hey, it's something. It makes me feel like I'm helping or doing something. I got a fan going back here in the producer's room because we this part of the building, we do get it a little bit, Drew. This smoke is oppressive, though. I want to give a couple shout outs. First of all, Statman Steve.
Statman Steve,
he's
been with us from day one.
Your dedication to the bit and the craft is incredible, unmatchable. He sent me a Snapchat at 5 a.m. He was at Bradford Beach getting ready for the sunrise pictures. As you guys know, Statman Steve is pretty much Milwaukee Photo Steve now. Yep. He likes to take a lot of great pictures, get some great aerial shots, some great shots.
Yeah, he's drone man.
He's drone man, but he photographs this city quite well, and it's all its beauty, the beauty of nature. And I guess he still couldn't resist trying to get the shots today of the sunrise with the smoke. But he's out there at Bradford Beach, still in this smoke, Drew, at 5 a.m. Just stay safe out there, Steve, and try and get some clear air if you can find it. And I'd also like to shout out the newest member of our 5 o'clock club. Congrats to Chris and the Bend, who texted us on the NickleyLaw.com talking text line that Elena Rose is only 2 hours old and the newest member of the 5 o'clock club. So Elena Rose, welcome to the world. Please send us a picture. Absolutely beautiful.
2 hours old, and she's already listening to our program.
And she's the first thing she's consumed in her life is the Huddle. How about that?
5 o'clock.
Bring us some bright days and sunshine and clear air, please. But number 64 on the 5 o'clock club on the list. You are on the list, Elena Rose, and congratulations to Chris and the Ben and family on their arrival. Pretty cool to see that. And I like to know that we're the first show. Bring it. Can only go up from here. So
you're right. It can only go up. 877-794-1973. Mention the Brewers trade for Lance McCullers. And again, low risk. They're eating the rest of his salary, a couple mil. They traded Jaden Fielder, not one of their top 50 prospects. Mm-hmm. I don't think.
No way. I wouldn't. I'd be surprised. I'd have to confirm that from our prospect huggers, but I would be shocked.
Yeah.
Nothing against the Fielders. It's just that's not what the Brewers kind of had ticketed for him. It's not the first time guys would have outperformed their, their draft position or non-draft position. But
Tim on the talking text line, love the McCullers trade 6 years ago. Well, again, they're getting him now.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Then we have a more negative view from 608. Come on, guys. He's always Come on, man. He's injury ridden. I understand this is low risk, but this is stupid. And I ask him, why is it stupid? You telling me there's no one else out there that is not consistently getting injured? Well, no, that's not the point, 608. There are other people out there that don't get injured. The Brewers might trade for them, but they might not. But those pitchers will probably cost more.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea there. So maybe I shouldn't say stupid, but a head scratcher. I'll say one thing. I sure hope they make a splash this year, especially with the prospects we have. Also, there's live sports on. The Open Golf Championship is on. Yes, we know the Open starting.
Yeah, and again, this isn't the move.
Right.
It's not the only move. It's the first move.
Yeah, there's not a finite amount of moves you can make.
No. And it's
I don't understand the uproar here.
And he's always hurt. Well, the Brewers are at a point where who would you rather see? Lance McCullers, a guy with big league pedigree and big game experience. And I'm not projecting to October right now. Because the Brewers, they have to worry about playing July 17th.
Yes. The Brewers.
They have to get to October, right?
They have a 5-game lead in the
And
Central.
if he can give you even a couple of games, I think I'd rather see Lance McCullers out there and give me 5 innings than try to watch Coleman Crow give me 5 innings.
I would,
I just call me crazy, but I like the guy with a pedigree, and these games are important too. Like they're going to play. You got more games left against the Cubs. You got in a big stage like that. I think I'd feel good about having Lance McCullers go out there and try to work his way through. Now, is he coming back from injury? Sure. Are Chris Hook and Jim Henderson miracle workers? Yeah. This is a very low risk move. $2.5 million is not insignificant, but that's basically what it's costing.
Julio Teheran gave you 11 starts in 2023. He was basically in the same situation. Came off a
good
full
innings.
year of nothing and gave you good innings, a half-point WAR. He gave you, I think, a 4 ERA and a 1-1 WHIP. He gave you a stretch of baseball that helped you win some games. That's all they're trying to get out of Lance right now. Is they're going to try and analyze him. They're going to put him in the lab. They're going to tweak probably his delivery, but more so probably his pitch selection. They're going to try and make him focus on other pitches, see if he can get guys out in the short term.
Right.
This is not meant to change the franchise. Like, I don't know why people get so upset about moves like this that are low risk. It probably won't make a significant difference. It might not work out. There's probably a high chance of that. But you're going for that low chance that it might. You're taking a flyer. It's sort of a little lottery ticket. If it works and it gives you a little bit of something of return, great. If it doesn't, you're no worse for the wear.
That's right.
So I don't understand. The worst thing that might happen is you might go to the clubhouse store next winter and find a Lance McCullers game used jersey for $80. Like that's the worst thing that might happen to you. So why people I think, Drew, some fans see this as a move that's going to take away from the possibility of a bigger one. And I just don't see why. That's illogical to think that way.
That's right.
So there's obviously just as much of a chance for the Brewers to make their sexy splash to go get the Bentley that you wanted them to get at the trade deadline. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
The dream is still alive.
The dream is alive.
Yeah.
I was just surfing around. There's a story on The Athletic, and it is by a guy named Neil Payne. And he's looking at who's going to win the World Series. Well, it's a complicated question, as it is always right now. But they're dovetailing off a story they did last year where they came up with a series of metrics that teams that win the World Series, like boxes that you can check, per se. And some of these are kind of advanced stats, like overall quality runs divided by game differential.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Stuff like this. Yeah. The categories are like offense, batting win probability added, pitching and defense, pitching whip plus, that some of these are advanced metrics, but they've come up with like a series of things criteria that you have. And right now, by the way, at the break, according to BetMGM, the Brewers have the third best odds of winning the World Series behind the Dodgers and Yankees.
Pretty good, I would say.
Dodgers plus 180. They are almost 30% chance to win the World Series, according to the betting odds.
That's a great chance.
Yankees plus 550, 12.8%. Brewers plus 1,000, 7.6% to win the World Series.
Okay.
So that's your chance.
I like
and it goes
odds
on from there. Like, the Royals, Rockies, there's a bunch of teams that are below 1%. Pirates are at 1%. And then there's a whole raft of teams way below. If you're wondering where the Cubs are, they're 8th plus 2,000. They have a 4% chance. So nearly the Brewers have, according to the betting odds, twice as good a chance as the Cubs. Now, that's just where the money is going as of the break. But the stats that they go through, and they run through these filters of how you do, the Brewers then fall. They're in it. Like, basically, they say they're, according to these historical measures that they have, and there's a bunch of them, there are 7 teams that they tab that can win the World Series. And they are the Yankees, Dodgers, Braves, Rays, Brewers, Cubs, and Mariners. Those are the teams that are mostly passed on their scale. And the Brewers are slightly like 1 point ahead of the Cubs in their metrics. The Yankees basically clicked every box, and they are like 100% covered on all the metrics that they have. And that's without Judge and Stanton right now and some shaky pitching. Dodgers are at 98%. They've missed the category of speed. The Braves are at 94%, Rays 91%, Brewers 86.8% of the boxes checked. Their deficiencies, believe it or not, were in fielding and slugging percentage. So that was where they were deemed low. Cubs were rotation ERA plus opponents average and home runs for 9. So the Cubs are a tick below, and then the Mariners are below. But so that's encouraging if you want to go look at that and do a dive into the numbers. So 7 teams have 80% or more of these benchmarks that you have to hit. And that has the best it's a historical blueprint for postseason success.
I like looking at this stuff because I always yearn towards standardized metrics, as you know.
Yeah.
We had sort of the same
run
thing
differential and things like that.
In college basketball, we had a similar sort of thing where the national champion for a number of years was a top whatever in offense and defense in Ken Pom. So, hey, look, Drew, this is the neighborhood you want to live in. And you hope to break through one year through that.
And there
door.
are always some topsy-turvy things going on in a baseball season, because when you got to June, some of the best teams were Atlanta, Cleveland, San Diego, and the Yankees. And basically from June 1st on, the wheels came off for them, basically. Yeah. And then the Marlins, the Tigers, the Astros, the Rangers, and especially the Phillies, who had to fire their manager, they suddenly rose up.
Turn it around
from June 1st on. And, they feel like, okay, we're, the market is correcting. So it's like, those teams are kind of in that, there's a middle tier of teams like Red Sox, White Sox, and Rangers check some boxes, and then mostly failed Guardians, Phillies, and Blue Jays, not checking a lot of boxes according to these metrics. So it's interesting stuff. Now, it's as simple as, where are you in the standings at the All-Star break? And you have, 70% better chance to win the World Series if you're in first place at the All-Star break. Now, the Brewers have a tough schedule. They have the toughest strength of schedule.
Tough division, I would say.
In the second half.
So. I would say. I mean, they probably have, when you talk about the Cubs, that's one of the better, more talented, hotter teams that's going to be in second place right now. It's going to be on your tail. Right. So it's not going to be a cakewalk just because of them to the NL Central crown, as we know, Drew.
Not at all. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We want your thoughts. Again, Lance McCullers is a Brewer. He's on his way to Milwaukee to do a presser tomorrow when the Brewers reconvene after the break. And, again, low risk. Just let it see. But this is not the only move they're going to make. All right. Moving forward, we're going to talk a little World Cup. We're going to talk sports bucket lists. Matt Mueller joins the party at 7:30. Dolphin is going to be with us less than an hour from now for our halftime report. Billy is off today. We're glad you're hanging out. It's Drew and Armen bringing it to you in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Thursday. Drew Olson, Armen Sorry, and bringing it to you. 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Streaming live. Facebook, X, and YouTube on this smoky Thursday.
More smoke songs than I realized. I like this.
Yeah.
They're all country.
Got some Brewers made a transaction acquiring Lance McCullers. And what's the other kid's name? Colton.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking.
Colton Gordon.
Gordon. All
right, Colton Gordon.
First names.
In the name game, Colton Gordon.
Yeah.
That's a Colton Gordon is it's like if they made Varsity Blues 2, the quarterback would be Colton Gordon.
Colton Gordon
is a very Texas name. It's a very it could be Jeff Gordon. It sounds like a NASCAR driver.
Like I said, it sounds like a country singer to me.
Colton Gordon could definitely be a country singer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I mean,
so he's got
it. Guys.
That's like you hear that name and it's like it almost seems made up.
Exactly. It sounds like
it's not a central casting.
Yeah. Or,
right?
or like an act. Yeah. Like a character's name or a stage name.
Wasn't the quarterback who got hurt in Varsity Blues named Lance? So it could be Lance McCullers and then Colton Gordon. I love this. Took over for Vanderbeek's character.
Who's he going to be played by in the movie?
When Jonathan Moxon got hurt, Colton Gordon was he was the backup.
Right.
He was the freshman when Mox got the call. So he was moved up to varsity to be the backup.
Which Jonas brother will play him in the movie when the
Colton
Brewers win the World
Gordon.
Series? Vinny from Equine, good morning. Off to basketball. Let's see at 7:15. All right, Vinny, just keep us on. I don't care. Hope you have a good game today. Yeah, Colton Gordon.
Off
Drew.
to basketball?
I guess he's playing ball. I hope it's indoors.
Well, I mean, you got a morning run.
Yeah.
That fascinates me, guys who play hoops before work, because I know there were some guys that used to do that at my old gym.
It's like a workout, though, right? Drew?
It's a workout, but if you got guys to do it, because it's one thing to go to the gym by yourself. We call them sociopaths waiting for the wide open as we drive by.
Yeah, like the Ray Allen.
But if you got you need at least 6 guys to get a decent sweat.
3-on-3 is decent. I mean, 2-on-2 is okay.
And my old gym had kind of a shorter court, so 4-on-4 was perfect. You didn't need 5 because the court would get crowded because it was a smaller court.
Also, you convince yourself to go half, so you don't have to run the full court.
All right, so the Brewers make their transaction. They've got Jaden Fielder going to the Astros, and that's a name for the Astros. Like, we got, and it's actually for Jaden. I don't know that he didn't get a big signing bonus or anything from the Brewers, so he's undrafted free agent. But the Astros train in Florida, and the Fielders do live in Florida, so more convenient for him probably.
It is, and maybe he looks at it as a shot to keep moving up.
Yeah, I mean, just prove himself on a different org.
Right, live his dream, things like that.
Yeah, you got to look at it like somebody wanted you, right? They wanted you thrown in, and he's a name, and it was an offset.
I can't imagine they expected him to do what he did in rookie ball in terms of his numbers, and
he's a little bit. Again, he's a little bit older. Like he's
21. For reference, I mean, Cecil and Prince got called up at 21. I mean, he's 21-year-old high A guy, but a low A guy. That doesn't mean it doesn't mean he's
you don't preclude. I wouldn't count him out. He's a grinder.
No, he's a grinder.
Good bloodlines, good skills. But the Brewers traded him. There's also a transaction, and it's funny because Armen, when Giannis was traded. And by the way, we'll talk more about Giannis as we move forward. He took in the World Cup game yesterday. He was at the match. It was. Yeah. I got to say, I channeled my inner Armen. It's like I've kind of shut off the Giannis faucet. Like I haven't been feeling. I just kind of put it to the side. But then he's at the World Cup and he's pinging around in this box and he's like meeting Mick Jagger. And I'm like, I saw the picture. And I'm like, oh, he used to be our guy. It would have been our guy meeting Mick Jagger.
Yeah, it's somebody else. It's a little weird to see it, but it's also a different Giannis now. I just look at him as a different guy.
But you had talked about how you hoped Giannis would keep his house here and like keep a presence here.
Yes.
Well, indeed. I just saw the transaction. Drew Holiday sold his home in River Hills finally.
Was it
Drew Holiday's been gone for a while?
Yeah, he has been.
But he had previously rented it to Dame Lillard.
That's what I was going to say. Those guys trade their houses out
and
to each other.
I'm looking at the picture of this house, and it's spectacular.
Well, of course.
As you might expect. It's going to be one of the biggest transactions on the North Shore. I don't know the price, but they were asking like $4.9 million. They were asking.
As you know, Drew, relative to these types of houses and other NBA markets, they're getting deals.
Oh, yeah.
Now the other thing, like Giannis's house was Mirza Teletovich's house.
Yeah, but Giannis added on to it.
Skiles, Crean, and George Karl, I think, all were in the same spot. And then Giannis added on to it, added the court, added the extra kind of buildings for his family.
Yeah, he had his mom's place.
That's why that customization level. the fact that it kind of is still going to cost like one of his weekly checks. I don't know, Drew. I think he might, but whatever. But that would have been our guy.
If you're into Zillow porn, the picture of this,
I love
pictures of this are just amazing. Had an indoor, like a very small indoor court that not anything like an NBA player. I mean, he could get some shots up, but like it was cut off at like the top of the key, but you could shoot from the corners and stuff. But it had a really nice like weight room and sauna and spectacular. So Drew Holiday has sold his house. I don't know if it's to another athlete, because this kind of house that an athlete or a coach would want. It's funny because Bucks players tend to live like North Shore, Mequon, Bayside, Fox Point, and the Brewers players, they generally don't buy these houses. They're renters.
Well, I was actually thinking about that when we were talking about BJ Suroff the other day, because he was famously in Hales Corners. Yeah. And I always wondered where a lot of these guys lived. I remember Hardy and Weeks had the Brown Deer apartment, but most guys live in the third ward now or right in that area, basically downtown. Yeah,
they're renters. They're downtown. Well, if you have kids, a lot of them choose Brookfield and still maybe even Muskego and stuff, but they rent houses. They
Woody's in the Bay.
Airbnb it. Yeah, Whitefish Bay types too. So interesting. The longer you're here, the more you get appreciation for the area, and you might dive into some neighborhoods. You meet some people that steer you to a neighborhood or something. But yeah, this house is Zillow porn. I'll send you the link, Armen. You're gonna be like, oh my god,
can't wait. Yeah, that's interesting to see what guys, how they live.
Spectacular.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So yeah, but I don't know if Giannis is going to keep his house here. But I was just thinking about that because that's one of the things that you brought up in the aftermath of the trade.
If nothing else, he's a real estate investor.
Yeah.
So why not?
Drew Holiday bought this house for like $1.5 million, and it was listed at 4.9.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's part of it. And
it's 4 acres. It's on the river. It's a lovely.
It's a nice.
It's a place that makes me go, wow.
You could probably rent it out. Those are the types of people.
Indoor, outdoor stuff. The pictures in the summer of this joint are just spectacular.
The thing is, they can sustain the cost of maintaining it if they're not living in it.
That's for sure.
So I think that's a big factor in it. Marcus and Iowa, welcome to Smokeout 26. Yep, that's what we're doing, basically.
It sucks. It tickles the throat, no question.
A lot of texts coming in, Drew. The 5 o'clock clubbers, the door is closed, but the door will be open to the 6 o'clock.
That's
club.
right.
So we'll keep all the
We love our
coming.
early adopters. We love our 5 o'clock clubbers, people that are with us. I cease to be amazed about the number of people that are up and around and listening and interacting with us at this hour.
Not anymore.
I don't think anybody was up at this hour.
No, they're working out, playing ball, having babies. They're all out there.
Yeah, they're all out there. And right now they're ducking the smoke. So limit or avoid being outdoors today. Smoky air all day, very unhealthy, hazardous air quality. Not going to impact the quality of our show, though. Billy's out. We're still rocking it. Drew and Armen bringing it to you. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
We are Fox Sports.
I'm Doug Russell. We start on the pitch. The World Cup semis coming in an opportune time with baseball still on its all-star break at Dallas Stadium, also known as AT&T Stadium in Arlington, home of the Cowboys. England struck first, but then came the defending champs at the 85-minute mark.
Messi on Spence, trying to find space for that left foot into the middle. Enzo Fernandez! Argentina! They always find a way, and they've tied the game!
Fox Sports with the play-by-play, and then in stoppage time, Lionel Messi found Lautaro Martinez streaking toward the goal. His header at 92 minutes was the winner. Argentina wins it over England 2-1. That sets up Sunday's championship in New Jersey between Argentina and Spain. Kickoff is at 2 o'clock. There's also a third-place game Saturday in Miami between England and France. Of course, we'll have it for you right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And the Brewers get back at it tomorrow hosting the Marlins. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Mueller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board got to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armen Sarian.
Zip, don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a smoky Thursday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, broadcasting live, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's Drew Olson and Armen Sarian today. Skating shorthanded. Billy Schmidt is off today. Scott Dolphin's going to join the party in about 20, 25 minutes. And then after 7:20, we'll talk to our buddy Matt Mueller, a man about film. Plenty to talk about. Box office. The big stories today, obviously, the smoke from the wildfires, Minnesota. I don't know if it's Minnesota or Canada. I think it's Minnesota this time.
I think it's a combination of both. Once it gets up in the ether,
it's pretty awful out there. Yeah. And it's a campfire. It's oppressive. We go from a blast furnace of 99-degree temperatures to now you can't breathe the air. It's the temperature is tolerable, and now you can't breathe outside, which sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yep, we're getting through that together. Brewers made their trade. We've got some good stuff holstered up for you today.
Seems to be a little bit of a question when the smoke's going to end too. That's the problem. I don't know when
it can't end soon enough to me.
Oh yeah,
are you kidding me? I can tolerate. I don't mind the heat. I like heat. I like hot weather. And we always talk about people who work outside, whether it's hot or it's cold. Well, if you're working outside today, that sucks because of the smoke.
It's the different level of not being able to breathe.
And you can't escape it. And even now, I'm inside in the air conditioning.
Yeah,
and it's in my throat. It's in my, it's tickling the sinuses in the throat. It's in the back of the throat. It's awful.
Pretty uncomfortable, no question about it. Drew,
it's give me the heat over this anytime, as long as the air is clean. That AQI that I never pay things I don't. The initials. Like, I know you're into WAR and WHIP and BAPIP. Well, AQI, Air Quality Index, I generally don't pay any attention to that. I'm not asthmatic, and I don't, it's not in my radar. And the sun, the factor of what's the UVA or whatever, like the UVA, is it?
UV, yes, I think that's true. Yeah.
Ultraviolet or UVI, ultraviolet index, or UVA is Virginia, University of Virginia. That's Tom Harcourt's alma mater. But the UV, I don't care about either because, whatever. Put sunscreen on if you want. It's all good. Yeah, a lot of, if your child has asthma, my daughter had, as a youth, had exercise-induced asthma.
Okay.
And
so she had to bring an inhaler?
Had a nebulizer, inhaler thingy, that thing. And Yeah, I mean that thing is real. And for kids, like if you're doing a camp or something, or if there was, I saw a bunch of people running last night right when it was kind of starting. There's in my neighborhood, there's like some run club, and you'll see like 100 people running at varying speeds, and it looks like it's an organized fun run, but it's just this club of people who get together. And kudos to them.
They run for fun. They run for other.
I like
reasons.
it, and then they go out and hang out and drink. So there's nothing wrong with that.
It was right around 6 o'clock hour last night.
Yep.
It was okay until 6. The wind shifted. Then all of a sudden it just came in like
That's right.
It came in like the Packers sweep or something like that. I'm trying to think
the
of a good
Green Bay
reference.
sweep. Yeah,
The Green Bay sweep.
It was like the Four Horsemen.
Unbelievable. So
all right, so
did you enjoy the ESPYs last night?
I didn't watch a single minute of the ESPYs, and I'm keeping my streak alive of not watching or caring about the ESPYs. It's a concocted, manufactured.
It is. No, there's no question about it. It is
ESPN promotion, and I don't care about it. There might have been some moments. Now, your wife and your mother-in-law,
yes.
They like Marcelo?
They like Marcelo. They're into award shows in general. So this was another one to see, hey, who's famous, who's there, and things like that. Marcelo Hernandez is pretty, I think it's Hernandez, right? I don't want to get that name
Marcelo,
wrong. He was pretty funny, I thought, in his monologue. He did a great job hosting. A young guy, right? Young guy, it seems like it at least. And at least he looks really young. Did a pretty good job. I pretty much watched the first 20 minutes. I saw Jalen Brunson get a Performer of the Year or whatever award he won. The Knicks got Team of the Year. I was in and out. But it was something to have on. It's not something I ever make appointment viewing. I would have gotten a walk-in, Drew, around the block if it wasn't for the smoke that started to just pump in. So that kind of kept me inside and watching the events. But it's something to have on during the slowest sports day of the year, the day after the All-Star game. And we did get the reprieve, obviously, of one of the all-time great World Cup matches with England and Argentina, but that was during the day. So in the evening, there wasn't else on. But
I got to watch that, and it was must-see TV, especially the back end of it.
What a match.
And it got me thinking. Argentina wins. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but they win 2-1. They're down 1-0 in the 85th minute. They get the equalizer. On an assist from Messi, and then they get
and they were knocking on the door too for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they get the winner in extra time, and it made me think. And I texted Aaron Nagler, like, football with a U. That's about as cruel a finish as you can have. And
No doubt.
I've heard it like people looking for analogies. Well, the analogy is if you're an England fan. And there are plenty in our parts, and there were people who were just cheering for England because they were hoping for that England-Spain final. They wanted England to go through. England hasn't won a World Cup in 60 years. Harry Kane, I used to love him when he was with Tottenham.
Yep, Jude Bellingham, those guys.
Those guys are fun to watch.
Pickford was pretty good last night, I thought, but he couldn't. The onslaught, he couldn't maintain.
They're fun to watch, and the equivalent. We're looking for equivalent. Well, if you're an England fan, that was Game 3. That was Pete Alonso.
That's pretty good, yeah.
You're sitting there, and it's like, we got this. You got to the 85th minute, which is basically the 9th inning, and Devin Williams came in and hung a change up to Pete Alonso, and see you later.
Great example. And this is get to a final, so they hadn't been to a final in 1666.
They hadn't been to a final, and they were going to play Spain, and but the other analogy that I heard, and this one is good.
I got one in my mind,
is that England, well, let me see. It's from a tweet. England, for those who are wondering, England went into the prevent defense, leading 3-0 in the third quarter against Joe Montana.
That's exactly
because
it.
Messi is Joe Montana. Messi's the best player on the planet. At 38, 39, he's still the best player on the pitch.
He's God on the pitch. 2 assists for the last 2 goals.
Incredible. His touches, the way he settles things. He's
the final ball he sent in.
He's incredible
for that go-ahead goal. Was an absolute masterpiece.
England they kind of backed off the throttle, and they were playing not to lose. They were in the prevent defense, and it scorched them. And it's going to haunt them to their bleeping graves.
Yeah. Yes. This is the Finland situation in some ways. I'll push back on the 3-0 in the first half, though. I mean,
3-0 in the third quarter.
Third quarter.
Yeah. Third quarter.
A 1-0 lead with 80 in the 85th minute is a stronger lead than that, though, isn't it? It's hard to compare sports, but they played.
Well, the thing is, though, but here's the thing.
They parked the bus.
Here's the thing, though. It's like 1-0. You're up 3-0, but that's how tenuous it was, because in football with a U, if it's 1-0, the team that scores the equalizer late has all the momentum in the world, and it's like doubling up.
It sure feels
like it's not often like it's rare that the other team will bounce back because it just buries you. It just the emotional swing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a goal and a half almost, because though the score is tied, if you just scored in the 85th minute to tie it, it's like you're ahead.
It's an anvil on the team.
It
that
is.
Just
So
gave up the
that
goal,
is,
and it's a lift beneath.
I mean,
the wings.
the old saw is that, you know, when you're watching the Stanley Cup, the most dangerous lead in hockey is the 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
Then you give one up, and then the other team has life, and then they tie it. No, but this was the equivalent of that, and this was so in terms of the gut punch, the NAD kick.
Yes.
Which is 90% of being a fan, as we point out, because you only get to celebrate like 10% of the great stuff. This was up there for England. This was their Devin Williams, Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Like, how did we lose this? Like, it was right there for us.
So for me, it was the 2014 NFC Championship. You know, you're right one step from the Super Bowl. You're there. You had the lead. You blew it. I mean, a multitude
catch the
of
damn
events,
ball, Brandon Bostic.
stuff like that. Like that was to me an example of that as well.
That's on par. That's on par.
Because also the stage you were at, you know, the chance to go to the final.
So
the thing is, they call that strategy parking the bus, packing the back.
Yeah.
Protecting a 1-goal lead to just bring everyone back and play defense. In soccer, football, that strategy has worked. I mean, thousands of times to protect a 1-goal lead in the history of the game. However, Argentina's onslaught was relentless. They could have scored a couple before that.
Yeah, they hit a post right before.
They were so far back. The England
goal.
defense was so far back. You had to do something else, but that's just the way it was, and they couldn't maintain it as much as they tried. And they tried that strategy. I saw the England manager defending his tactics. I don't know. I mean, I know this is results based. Maybe it could have worked, maybe, but it just clearly was a problem. Even before the goals occurred, they were bound to score. The pressure was too much. England would have been super fortunate to get out of that unscathed. If they found a way to win that with that strategy, England would have been fortunate. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not likely. It wasn't like you were dominating the momentum. It wasn't,
No.
Argentina was absolutely knocking on the door the whole time there at the end.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, maybe they're just
It wasn't
the superior
a fluke.
side, but so now we have, we have the final, Spain and Argentina Sunday. And I don't know, you cheer for Messi to win another one because this would be his kind of walk-off.
It's part of it. There's a little LeBron Jordan thing that goes on in this sport with Messi and Ronaldo fans where the one wants the other one not to get accolades. So there's a lot of people that have a vested interest in cheering against Argentina that have been absolutely devastated this whole tournament through because Argentina's saved themselves time and time again. It seems like Argentina has 9 lives and they keep using them. They don't run out. It was the Egypt match. It was, you go Cape Verde. Argentina almost lost plenty of times, and that was what the Ronaldo fans were hoping for. And right now, if you're a fan of, let's say, European soccer or a fan of Ronaldo, Argentina finding a way to win, Messi finding a way to win is kind of devastating for your argument, your trash talk ability, we talk about this with the LeBron Jordan thing all the time. So for me, it's a good story that Messi's back again. I think he's a likable guy. He's, I think, the best player ever. Some people can argue that. That's fine. They will forever. But right now, it's hard to deny what he's doing. But Spain has been kind of an impressive unit as well when they weren't one of the favorites. It was supposed to be France. It was supposed to be the other teams. So you got to give Spain credit for they've only given up 1 goal all tournament, Drew. So that's amazing too. So we're going to have a great final. The story with Messi, obviously you want stars. Spain has a young star in Yamal. He just turned 19. He's an amazing player. We should get a great, and the fact that they play a third place match still is pretty interesting to me because third place matches have kind of gone by the wayside in major American sports. Remember, they used to do that in college basketball, Drew, and things like that. We don't have that anymore, but in the World Cup, we still have the third place match. And I know in American sporting culture, there'd be so many guys that were just like, I'm not playing the NIT.
Yeah.
Like, this is their NIT.
No
but
doubt.
You won't see that. You'll probably see France and England with a lot of their great players trying to win this match because France and England, a lot of people thought would be the final. And you'll have fans that care about it. That'll be the completely difference in American sporting culture versus European. They'll still try and win that third place match.
I don't think people remember it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that when your beloved Marquette then Warriors won their title in 1977 with Al McGuire, that there was a third place game.
They played until I want to say like 80 or 81 or something. I'm gonna Google that. Yeah.
All right. So who did North Carolina beat in that Final Four? Because the Golden Warriors beat UNC Charlotte and Cornbread Maxwell.
They beat UNLV, one of Tark's early good teams.
Okay. So UNLV. So that was the third place game. UNLV against UNCC.
Which I honestly don't know who won the game.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
No one cares. There's no one's hanging a banner for winning the third place game at the NCAA tournament.
I guess my point would be, I think back
you had a Final Four banner.
Back then, they might have hung like an NCAA third place banner, but not anymore.
No.
But maybe in the 60s and the 50s, would you have done that?
Not a chance.
I saw a picture once, and I can't prove its veracity, but I did see a picture of Tar Heel Blue NCAA second place 77 banner. Now they don't put it up anymore. Obviously, you would put a Final Four up banner. Yeah. But nothing to signify that you lost in the title game.
Oh my!
Which I always thought was interesting. Like the Marquette lost the title game in 74, and they just keep a 74 Final Four banner up. But I always thought it should notify somewhere national runners up to notify that you won an extra game. But hey, I guess that's not what we do.
That's right.
That's not what we do.
Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Employee owned for 40 years. Check them out for all your HVAC needs. You're going to need the air conditioning today. You don't want the windows open at all today.
Speaking of who's hot, the fire at wildfires, right, Drew?
Yeah,
I mean, that's an obvious one.
Who's hot. That's what I was going to say. Well, who's hot is Argentina and Messi, because Messi, like, if you win, it's hard to win the World Cup, and back-to-back World Cups is really something. And for if this is indeed his farewell to the international stage, Lionel Messi is definitely hot. Argentina's hot because they came back and won again. They've done it before, and they're rolling in to face Spain.
Yeah.
So that's who's hot. Who's not is like us for dealing with these smokes, because we finally got rid of the 99-degree temperatures, and now you can't open the windows because of the damn fire. So we are not hot at all.
Yes, indeed. And I did see the Wolves introduced Ball, and so I guess that's a little bit there. They're trying to get excitement there, and that Giannis will be introduced along with Bobby Portis today in Miami. So kind of a hot moment for them. And the Wizards have shut down AJ DeBonsa for the rest of the NBA Summer League, I guess, to protect him and load manage, whatever it is. They don't need to see him anymore, so that's okay. But Braden Burries has been hot, showing out in the NBA Summer League for the Bucks. A lot of excitement for him, Drew. And Alvin Kamara is going to return to the Saints on a rework deal. So a couple of hot headlines there for you. Players that are hot, organizations that are hot, trying to make the moves. Obviously, not much going on this time of the year.
No.
But we'll be starting things up again tomorrow with MLB season, and we're not hot. We're not hot trying to breathe this weather. Yeah. Outdoor athletes, anyone trying to spend time outside?
I wanted to spend some time outside today for sure. And now I'm not so sure if I will. It's awful.
Yeah, it stinks. It stinks. There's no question about it.
Who's hot, who's not, brought to us by our pals at Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, DonovanJorgensen.com. Check them out online and hit them up if you have any HVAC needs. Like, Armen, you don't think about your furnace in the middle of July.
Yeah.
But if it was on its last legs last winter, now's the time, right? Like we told people in April to think about the air conditioner. Like, you don't need it now, but you're going to need it. So check them out at DonovanJorgensen.com. Also, today is a good day, even though, you won't make your clothes smell if you wear Iron Jock, but the smoke will. Like literally, if you walk around, if you spend 8 hours outside today, you're going to come in and it's like you were in a campfire.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
That's basically what it is.
But I am wearing Iron Jock today. We wear it every day. And right now at ironjoc.com, if you buy $30 or more worth of the fabulous merchandise, which you can do that easily, our buddy Paul Hance is going to throw in a free pair of low-cut socks. No codes necessary.
Great socks.
Just go there and fill it out. This deal is good for this week only. So do it today. Go to ironjoc.com. Pick yourself up a cool-looking golf shirt or one of these wonderful workout shirts that you can wear multiple times. The socks alone are incredible. And I would say probably 70% of my underwear rotation is Iron Jock.
Yeah, they're underwear. Fantastic. I've got some. Really quick a nod. Did you see their quarterback dropped on Netflix the other day? And I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. But there's a clip of Joe Flacco's son benching his dad in fantasy football. That's pretty bad. When your own son benches you, I mean, that's pretty bad. So
that's an awkward conversation at the breakfast table.
But it's got to be pretty cool to be able to play long enough to have a child that old to be able to enjoy it like that. So, yeah.
All right. Off and running. When we come back, our buddy Scott Dolphin is going to join the party. By the way, get those socks. Go spend $30 at IronJOC.com. Do it today. You won't regret it. And they ship really quickly. So shout out to our buddy Paul Hansen and Iron Jock. Scott Dolphin joins the party next. We'll get his thoughts. What sport is what gives you the cruelest endings? Because it's always cruel when your team loses. And when I was watching England meltdown yesterday, anytime a team loses a lead in the NFL, it was the prevent defense that cost England yesterday. But I just kept flashing back to the Alonso game where it's right there. You're 5 minutes away. That's 3 outs away. And they didn't get it done. It's just cruel. Absolutely cruel. We'll discuss that and much more. Dolph is next. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. This portion of the Huddle brought to you in part by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Check them out. They're doing good work for men all over the country. Clinic near you. Find it at Game Day Men's Health. Sign up for the free, no obligation, no cost, nothing consult. Go in, get a finger stick. They'll do a little blood test, and they'll tell you if they can benefit you and change your life. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Scott Dolphin is here for halftime of the Huddle from the country station on the Hall, FM 106.1. And Dolph, we're talking about the World Cup game, and England went into the prevent defense, up a goal. They give up 2 from 85th minute. They can taste it that they're moving on to the final to face Spain for a chance to win their first World Cup in 60 years, and the rug is pulled. And I kept flashing back to October 3rd, 2024, and Devin Williams against Pete Alonso, and the Brewers losing that game at home against the Mets. Yeah, it was right there for the taking. And that's what happened to England yesterday.
Yeah, you could tell yesterday as soon as they gave up that first goal. And they had been flirting with disaster for a while, right? The goalie made a couple amazing saves.
If you're watching that, they were absolutely getting their door knocked down by Argentina the whole time.
Well, and that was the analogy that like I made on X, that they went into the prevent defense leading 3-0 against Joe Montana in the third quarter.
Exactly.
Lionel Messi is Joe Montana, and that the what are you doing?
Right.
And they didn't get the offensive opportunities to put it away.
It's a strategy in soccer to do that, park the bus, whatever. But you're a team that talented with that talented of a player, you're just flirting with disaster.
Yeah, in fact, they had substituted defense to try to win the game, and I get it. But boy, you could tell. And after the equalizer, you're like, they're screwed. They are not going to win this game.
Exactly it. And that's what I was telling Armen, is like, that's not just an equalizer, because it's like scoring a goal and a half, because you have all the momentum and the other team's like, yeah, just crushing.
You could say they knew they were probably going to lose in extra time, or they were going to lose in if it went to penalty kicks. But there was no way they were going to win that game after they tied up. You could just see it in their faces. And Argentina was just energized, and God, were they fun to watch.
Yeah, they seem to have more energy at the end, and obviously when you are desperate and attacking, you do. England had to make a series of great defensive plays, including Pickford at goal, and a couple balls off the post and things like that.
Right.
It was about, now, they could have survived. England could have. I mean, it's happened many times before in soccer. They were at the 85th minute, but it would have been kind of miraculous for them to survive that onslaught from the Argentines. They were pushed so far back. You're right. I mean, they really kind of turtled up too much.
And I don't want to compare them to the Cubs and the Billy Goat and all that stuff. But I mean, now you're 60 years and counting, and this team had a chance. They were right there. To shock the world and get their first cup since '66.
And the other analogy we can make is that Messi is kind of like LeBron at this point, where he's got a chance to walk off and like to win back-to-back World Cups.
He's just amazing. Yeah,
and to be the best player on the pitch at age, what is he, 38?
Yeah, it's not like they're 39. Dragging him along. He's making all their winning plays. I mean, the Argentinian side has 9 lives in this tournament, and he's been the reason. So
every time he has, you don't have to know anything about soccer to see how special he is.
He's incredible.
He out-dribbled 4 guys. Yeah, it's just amazing.
And they're fine for the future, too, as you saw that kind of their youth movement yesterday. And it's 2 World Cups in a row now. The kid who had the amazing goal to tie it up. I mean, he starred in the last World Cup too.
That's right.
It's going to be, the final will be interesting because Spain's D has been so well organized. They've only given up 1 goal in the tournament. They've got Yamal, the young star. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens.
This is going to be, the immovable object, the resistible force.
When was the last time you guys broke down Spain's D on the show?
I know.
It's incredible. That's what happens in the World Cup. So we got
forever.
1 more game left of the World Cup, and the Brewers fire up again tomorrow.
2 more, actually. How would you love to be England or France? Now, there's huge money involved, right? It's $36 million for third place, but they have to drag their butts down to Miami and play this game.
The third place game.
This is just not part of our sporting culture.
We were talking about that because the NCAA got rid of that in the early 80s. Because I remember when Marquette won their championship, I remember there was a third place game with UNLV and North Carolina Charlotte. And who cares about it? Who's hanging a banner for finishing third?
81 was the last third place game.
So. I remember my Iowa squad losing to Louisville in the semifinals, and then they had to play Purdue, Joe Barry Carroll, in 1980, and they lost the consolation game too. Yeah. Just another kick in the butt.
Yeah, it's amazing how these things work, and it's been how the culture and sports changes, but It's one of them.
Oh yeah. You don't like World Baseball Classic. We're not playing for third.
No.
There's a bronze medal game in the Olympics, right? There used to be.
Yeah, there still is.
Yeah,
there still is.
Yet if you are in the Olympics, the bronze is a big deal. So hey,
that's true. It's better than not getting a bronze.
Pi says 2014. Yeah, that's how it felt for us. The 2014
NFC Championship game. Yeah, we were talking about
said,
just crushing losses and what sport gives you the most crushing losses, because soccer, the football. I've seen it before. And Bob Gansler, who's the first coach I ever covered with the UWM Panthers soccer coach when I was in college. And he just went into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. He used to say, "Oh, we died in beauty today. You can play great in soccer and you play technically great and still lose because of a bounce or they're all cruel. But what sport has the most gut-wrenching losses, do you think?"
I think it's probably soccer after watching the yesterday, or maybe hockey. I mean, just because of the finality of it all, when you just it's blood and guts for a couple hours out there, and then to lose in that fashion.
Yeah, and the puck just bounces off a guy's shoulder and goes in or something.
And the fact that any moment can be the ender in the playoffs when you have a golden goal type situation, you know
right.
what I mean?
But as we've seen, like the Devin Williams-Alonso thing is about as wrenching as it gets. The only thing that could have made that worse is if it had been in New York and they walked it off. But then as you remember, not only was there the Pete Alonso homer, they scored an insurance run after that to make it 4-2 and really suck the life out of it.
And then you had Jesse frickin' Winker going and Willie Adames going back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, we've dealt with a lot. People are already like, I mean, 4th and 26. I mean,
there's everything, but I'm just trying to like what sport, not necessarily sport, like what was your most, ball kick moment, but
yeah, I think it's hockey. Now, if you ask about it, it would definitely be football for me as a college and an NFL fan of two teams that have given me much heartbreak over the years. But if you have to pick a sport for me, it would still be hockey.
Because one goal or 1 point can make a huge difference.
Yeah,
I think if you say basketball, the reality is there'd be like a 20-point comeback, and that takes time and possessions and things like that.
Well,
so
I mean, agree. The Spurs, didn't they lead every game in the finals that they lost?
Including one by 28 points.
Well, Troy Casper says Falcons up 28-3, but I don't think that's a good comparison because an NFL lead like that at halftime would be like being up 3-0 in soccer, right?
True.
Or 2-0. 3.
Yeah, 3.
The problem with that game was just strategy was horrible, kind of like England yesterday.
Yeah,
well, that's what they're saying.
Completely.
Well, England's coach is defending, or manager defending his strategy.
Yeah, completely. The other question for you, Dolph, is my dear pal Dan Needles crossed off an item from his bucket list yesterday. He played St. Andrews in Scotland.
Wow.
He's been something he's been dreaming about since the first time he saw the course in the Open Championship, which is underway as we speak.
Yeah, at Royal Birkdale. Of course, St. Andrews is probably the most famous of all the British Open
he
courses.
Got to play it yesterday, and he made a couple pars. He made a par on 18.
Wow, did he stand on the bridge like Watson?
It's like unbelievable. Yeah, it was like a dream for him, and he got to do it. So, do you have a bucket list thing? Because I don't have one really as a participant because I'm not a good enough golfer to care. I mean, I'd be as intimidated playing Oakwood as I would be playing Augusta. Right?
Yeah,
so to me, it doesn't matter.
It definitely wouldn't be golf. I lived 6 miles from Pebble Beach for 7 years and never played it. Had the opportunity to play it when it was $175. But
never
for me,
went.
I'm envious of you, Drew, because for me, I've never been to Fenway Park. I would love to go to Boston and check out the Green Monster. And there's a couple other ballparks I'd like to see.
Yeah, my thing, I'm Cameron Indoor is mine.
Yeah,
I want to see a game at Cameron Indoor. I want to see what that is like because I've watched it for years.
And that's right there with Fenway and Wrigley.
To watch a Duke, North Carolina game there would be just about basketball nirvana.
But I've always wondered this about the dream of so I'm not like, I like golf every now and then, but I'm not like a serious golfer. I don't deify it like some of these guys do. Okay. So the dream of playing a course and saying, I've always wanted to play this. When you get down to it, isn't it just grass and trees and isn't it just the same as any other piece of nature? Not that it's not beautiful.
No.
But like,
not
why?
If you know.
Okay, why? Because you've seen it on TV.
Yes.
It's Augusta.
Yeah.
You've seen historic moments, Amen Corner, places like that.
Back when
that's the reason though, right?
Back when the GMO/US Bank Open or whatever the hell we used to call it was at Brown Deer, you could watch that and then I know I've hit into that. I've hit it in that creek. I've hit there, and you could see it, and
that's what it is. Because I've been to holes at Curry Park that are just as pretty as probably you can make the same argument. Wow, there's trees and a valley and water.
Wait, which hole is as pretty at Curry? The one right along the freeway off of between Capitol and Burleigh?
Maybe not that one.
Okay, Armen, do you want to watch a game at Fenway, or it's the same dimensions? Why don't you just go over to Franklin and watch the Milkmen at Franklin Field? It's still baseball. There's an outfield. There's a dirt, and they have
pessimistic.
fake grass.
I just think it is funny, and it's just an excuse for like these courses to jack up.
Well, no, the course, but we're talking just venues, like something you've got to do now. All right, Armen, you want to go hit? Like, what's the difference? The dimensions are the same. You can go hit at Greenfield High School. You can go hit tennis balls, or you can hit tennis balls and for an hour at center court at Wimbledon. Which one's more special?
It's not a good comparison because one's a stadium and one isn't. But both of these golf courses are golf courses. They have the same. They have trees and water.
You're using
sky.
the Norman Dale philosophy from Hoosiers. So you can get the tape measure out and measure from the hoop down to the.
Well, okay, I get that, but that again, I don't think that's a good comparison for golf. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just I haven't been to enough courses.
You haven't been to enough courses.
I mean, I played to Berlin Hills, and that seems as
that's
nice
a nice
as anything.
course. Yeah,
you've been to Whistling Straits, even walking around.
I've never been, so maybe that's the problem.
It's pretty amazing at Whistling Straits.
Go to Whistling Straits and
because the lake is there, right?
You're breathtaking. Yeah, it's breathtaking vistas.
It's at Bradford Beach in Warnemont and down on the south side.
Whistling Straits would be a great walk and breathtaking, even if you didn't have clubs.
That's what I mean.
Walk around.
I would love to just walk it. Well, I'm not going to pay to walk.
We played the Irish course at Whistling Straits. I've never played the big course there, but the Irish course was enough for me, and it was a struggle. I mean, there's goats up in the hills, and
it's a struggle. And it's lovely.
I guess I'm not the right person to get in because I love the outdoors.
But you're so sentimental,
right? I mean, maybe I'm not.
You get weepy watching the introductions of the '75 All-Star game.
That's what I'm saying. So why not golf? I don't know why.
So it's not just so. It is just golf. Like, okay.
No, it's an Armen thing, I guess. I mean, it's an Armen thing. Yeah.
There's not one bucket list thing that you think would say I would love to do.
You don't understand what I'm saying. It's not about the bucket list.
But what you're saying about golf is you're comparing the Greenfield High School gym to Butler to Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Well,
like, it's not the same.
I guess my disconnect is, to me, the stadium in golf is nature. And nature is all around us in a lot of golf courses. So why is that nature different than any other nature?
It's like, what's the difference between the basketball court at Greenfield High School and Hinkle Fieldhouse at Butler? They're different.
Thousands of seats.
Well, again,
but that's not what you have in golf, I guess. But maybe you do when you consider that, like the lake and the water.
Well, with the history.
The history.
That's just to think about.
That's it. That's what it is.
Think about Dan Needles playing St. Andrews. And, think about the people that have played that course through the centuries. Not even through the decades.
Like the game was invented there. It's the cradle.
I love that part of it. That's true.
Old Tom, what's his name back in the day when he was playing with homemade clubs?
Forget his name.
I can't think of his name.
Namashi.
I understand the golf, and maybe it's a cynical take on it. I don't know.
I don't get it because you are the least cynical person. You are the most childlike fan.
It is an odd take for me.
It's a totally odd take. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Curtin Walkinshaw wants to know if Armen took Happy Place hemp duck before the show today. He might have gotten a gummy.
If I tell you, I'll give you. Will someone pay me money to walk a path of nature if I tell them it's a very special path and not like the other paths? Okay, I guess I'm just saying.
Dan in West Bend wants to know, even I can make par at New Berlin Hills.
See, that part is true. Andrew Frisch, all-time terrible take, Armen. I think part of the problem is I can't make par at any of these courses. I can't make par.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, to me,
playing
a great course, Wanakee and Menominee Falls will bring me to my knees, and that's an easy course.
Listen, it's probably a take no one likes, and I admit it, but I just had to say it. So, okay, maybe I'm wrong to most people. That's fine.
You watch these venues, though, on TV for your entire life, and if you get a chance to go there.
I think that's the key. I'll agree with that. You watch, Augusta, you watch it on TV, Amen's Corner. The fact that you can put yourself into a place that previously felt like a movie stage almost.
And had so many dramatic moments that have gone down in history, through the years, whether it's golf or whatever. The first time I ever walked into Michigan Stadium, and you feel that energy from 110 or 120, whatever it is, 1,000 fans, it kind of takes your breath away.
Armen, but what you're doing is like you're comparing the New Berlin West Performing Arts Center to Carnegie Hall. Like, what's the difference?
Okay.
What's the difference? It's seats and it's a stage and it's theater. It's like, what's the difference?
You know what? You're right. Maybe it's who's played there. That's a good example. Like,
yeah.
Like, going up to Brown Deer, the GMO, like that was Tiger's first place.
Sure.
That was where he walked. You can walk in those steps.
Yeah, that's
I could
true.
see that part of it. I could see.
Because of my daughter's job, I got the chance this spring to go to Pfizer Forum. They had like an open house for employees. And I got to go shoot hoops on the court at Pfizer Forum. Right. Now, that's cool. Now, I could go down to the local gym. I can go to the Y. It's not the same, Armen. It's not the same.
When I was a kid, I dreamed of shooting at the Bradley Center. dreamed of it, to the point where I went to this like YMCA Bucks camp, and it was at the Cousin Center. And I remember thinking that we were going to the Bradley Center, but we weren't. It's like, I just assumed that all basketball players play there. But you're right. So I don't know why maybe I don't deify golf enough. I think I'm trying to find where my disconnect is here. I'm trying to search it.
Golf would be right towards the top of the list for me, even though I'm not a great golfer. But just the legendary places like Pebble Beach and St. Andrews and Augusta.
Sure. There's a handful of places that you'd feel that are special.
Well, I guess it's an indicator I'm getting zero support of.
Yeah, you're getting zero. This is a take that is not going to resonate with the people.
Now's the time.
You're a man of the people, Armen.
Not today, I guess.
Now's the time for the gummy.
Hey, maybe it's the smoke that's affecting me. Can I ask you, before I forget, I had to ask Dolph this, country music, okay? I was, as I like to do, every now and then I have a thematic bump list. I come up with some of the bumps for the show, thinking about what we're going to play. And obviously with the smoke in the air, I'm thinking of all these smoke-themed bumps and things like that. What is it with country music and smoke? They're obsessed with smoke. There's so many country music songs about smoke, both current and former. 1,000 Horses, smoke. Eric Church, smoke with a little smoke.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood, smoke break. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Smoke a little smoke, Eric Church. 1,000 Horses, that's the one you should be bumping in and out of a lot, because I think the only thing they say in the whole song is smoke.
I'll play on the way out here. Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to play Deep Purple.
Smoke on the Water. That's the big one, right? Yeah, I mean, isn't that the big one? So obviously you have Miranda Lambert smoking and drinking. It just seems like Smoky Mountain Run by Ronnie Millsap. There's just so much smoke.
Smoky Mountain Rain. Yeah,
by
Ronnie Millsap.
Rain. Sorry.
What's more common references, the pickup down by the lake or the smoke?
Right. Yeah. And when you're talking pickup at SB Chevy, I think Chevy is mentioned more than any other auto brand in country music songs.
Yeah, except for when Alan Jackson did that song about Mercury's. Right,
Crazy About a Mercury.
Yeah.
Good God, was it a licensing deal?
I think
might have been.
I think what happened though, if you remember, is he then did a Ford truck commercial and changed the lyric to "Crazy About a Ford Truck" in the '90s. I might be wrong about that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Armen, mine like a steel trap. Armen, sorry,
because my mom bought a Mercury in the '90s, and she was like, "This was the Alan Jackson song," and they were made him. Crazy About a Mercury, and I said it's the Ford truck song. And it's like, no,
Lincoln Mercury, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely,
that's like Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth.
Oh yeah,
little Plymouth action.
Classic.
I had my first car ever was a Plymouth Satellite.
Ooh,
that thing could smoke.
I bet. Speaking of smoke.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Dolph, maybe on your side of the building it's different, but we got some windows here that aren't sealed properly, and we're getting smoke in the building.
In the hallways.
Yeah.
You can actually, I thought it was in my head, and Shannon and Greg down the hall said, no, you can definitely smell it.
Yeah, it's the tickle at the back of the throat. It's uncomfortable. It sucks.
It is. I'm supposed to play golf this afternoon. I don't know. It's supposed to blow out of here, I think, this afternoon.
Well, wear a mask.
Just tell yourself what's saying.
Is this Smoke by 1,000 Horses?
This is the one, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good hook. Only hit they ever had, I think.
Hey, it works. It looks like thematically, this is one that I had not realized has been big in country music. Is Smoke. It's pickup trucks and going to bars and finding a girl.
Smoking and drinking.
And how many times are they rhyming fire and desire? I just wonder. That's the hackiest. Dolph, thanks for popping in. We appreciate the halftime injection here. Matt Mueller joins us about an hour from now. It's going to be great to catch up with a new dad and get his take on the latest from the box office and all things culture. We got more coming up. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Thursday edition of the Huddle, all the smoke edition of the Huddle. Drew and Armen bringing it to you. Billy's off today.
I'm ducking it today.
You're ducking the smoke. We're all ducking the smoke.
Which is rare
You
for
can't
us.
escape it. I just heard from the home base. My wife said it's seeping into our house a little bit.
Oh, it's terrible.
So you can't
And then
avoid
it's
it.
like your first thought is like, oh, hey, it's some fresh air. Open the windows. Well, no.
Can't do that.
So you do feel trapped, and all of a sudden you don't take your fresh air for granted. I remember last year, was it last year or a couple of years ago, that some Wisconsin legislatures were trying to issue like a complaint to Canada, and I think some people were making fun of it. I'm like, yeah, you make fun of it until you have to breathe it in. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a little bit of a privilege to have it, and not realize like, oh, well, you're not dealing with what we're dealing with here. So it's kind of brutal out there, but hopefully it blows away soon, Drew. Seeing differing reports about when people think it might dissipate.
Can't dissipate soon enough for me. Yeah, whatever it's going to take, 877-794-1973, your ticket to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Couple of plates spinning. How do you like the Brewers trade for Lance McCullers? They traded Jaden Fielder, and they picked up his salary. And other than that, and they did pick up Colton Gordon, who might be the key to the deal. We'll see. A lefty, 27-year-old lefty who some high numbers, but let Chris Hook and Jim Henderson have at him. We'll see how he does. We're asking about that. Gut punch losses, England losing. To me, it brought back memories of Pete Alonso homering off Devin Williams. Just a shattering loss there. We're also talking about bucket list items because my pal Danny Needles played St. Andrews yesterday. Crossing that off the bucket list. He's going to remember that for the rest of his life. So we're asking about bucket list things. Armen with a controversial take about golf courses.
Like, what's the point? It's the big deal.
What's
They're
the
all
big
trees
deal?
and water and grass.
That's right.
So I don't know.
Also, friend of show Andy in West Bend
There's a good one.
would like
Yeah.
us to make a public service announcement. If you're driving out there right now, turn your lights on.
Yeah, it's really
It's
cloudy.
that smoky and that haze is real, and you can't see other cars. So turn your lights on.
Statman Steve hit the beach at 5 a.m. to try and get pictures or photo of Steve, whatever, and he said it's just really smoky out there.
It's awful.
Really quick, Jarkin on YouTube, excuse me. I'm behind the stream, but I wanted to put this in there as a bucket list item. Sporting event, the Pelio horse race in Siena, Italy. Yes, Jerry and a plow truck. Yes, that is one of the most. That was KB's favorite. I went to Siena with my one trip to Italy with my wife a few years ago. You will see some of the YouTube of that. Those horse races. That is a wild ride right there.
How about running with the bulls?
That's another one.
Pamplona.
Pamplona, right? Another one.
Yeah.
So a lot going on.
All right.
there.
So our current electric superhero of the day, we're going to go in a special direction. I got two of them actually
Okay.
from the ESPYs. I didn't watch the ESPYs, keeping my streak alive of not watching the ESPYs. But apparently they did give an award last evening to Jim Abbott.
Yes, that was awesome.
I got to meet Jim Abbott when he pitched for the Brewers briefly at the very end of his career, and he was just a great dude. And it was fun covering him and getting to know him a little bit. And he was outside of the spotlight. He had already pitched for the Yankees, pitched his no-hitter and everything, but he was fantastic. Saw him get a hit in the big leagues.
And I think he had no hitter, right?
Yeah, no-hitter for the Yankees.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing
So-
feat of perseverance to do what he
so
did.
he's one. And then also, because it's ESPN, they were asking people where they thought LeBron would end up. And leave it to Anna Lee Waters, who nobody would, in our audience, would probably know. My sister probably knows because she follows pickleball very closely. Professional pickleballer. She said, I don't know, but I know the owner of the Professional Pickleball League just bought the Portland basketball team, the Trailblazers. I know he's trying to get LeBron, so we'll see if it happens.
Let's go.
So she threw that into the mix, and now Portland's all fired up.
Hey, Drew, she dropped the tidbit in there.
Superheroes from Current Electric. Call current.com is their website. You see the vans driving around the Milwaukee area with the superheroes on the side. Use them for your electrical needs. Call current.com. 7 o'clock hour, we're going to dominate. Matt Mueller is going to join us as well. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers don't resume post-All-Star break activities until tomorrow night, but they were making moves to try to shore up their pitching staff on Wednesday. The team training prospect Jaden Fielder, Prince's son, to the Houston Astros for right-hander Lance McCullers Jr. and left-hander Colton Gordon. The Brewers limped into the break with Kyle Harrison and Brandon Woodruff both on the injured list. Also, as a precaution, they skipped Jacob Mizrowski's scheduled start. The crew opens up a series at home tomorrow night against the Marlins. They start the second half of the year with a 5-game lead in the Central over the surging Chicago Cubs. And Wednesday at the World Cup Semifinals in Arlington, Texas.
Messi resets. Messi driving in. Messi crossing back. Oh, there it is! Lautaro Martinez. Stoppage time. Go-ahead goal for Argentina.
Play-by-play courtesy of Fox. That's how it ended. Argentina beats England 2-1. Sunday in New Jersey, Argentina and Spain will play for the title. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake now! Everybody wake!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and to try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we got more down to. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit out now and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Thursday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's the Drew and Armen show today. Drew Olson, Armen Sarian, Billy Schmidt is off. He'll be back on Monday. So we soldier on, skate shorthanded without him. We need some audience participation. 877-794-1973. Welcome, 7 o'clock clubbers, people who arrive at 7. You can join the 5 o'clock club and the 6 o'clock club. And just welcome to the club here. That is the Huddle. You're in the Huddle.
Indeed, Drew, and a lot of listeners joining today on the video stream as well. YouTube, Twitter, and X, and Facebook, getting a lot of action. And the NickLayLaw.com talking text line. A lot of good reaction to the things we're talking about. Obviously, smoke in the air in Wisconsin today.
Yeah.
An issue, obviously, but we're talking about that, talking about bucket list places to go, and talking about the World Cup match yesterday and what that type of devastation would be. Wisconsin sports fanatic chiming in during the break. Bucket list SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl and the Packers against the Dolphins. Now, Drew, I don't know if you're allowed to pick the teams too, but why not? We'll let you do it today. Who cares? You know.
Sure.
So, talking about that. So, he'll say also we'll take another toke. Yes, it is smoky today.
It is smoky.
There.
It's awful. It's in the back of the throat. It's just aggravating. And it's a haze out there. Turn your lights on. Folks can't see you. So I've had this idea for a long time because it's one of the core principles of this show. We got a couple of core principles. 90% of being a sports fan is getting kicked in the nuts and 10% is enjoying it. That's why you got to savor the 10%. If you're an Argentina fan, savor. If you're an England fan, you got the Mexico game, you got to win that one, and then you just got kicked in the nads yesterday, losing after leading in the 85th minute, 1-0, right? And that flashed me back to the Devin Williams, Pete Alonso nightmare, and it makes everybody think of all the nightmarish losses we've had. And we've had our share, definitely, but it tracks that 10% of being a sports fan is great, and 90% of it is, disappointment. That's how it is. But another core principle is that the national pastime is bitching and moaning about stuff, mostly on social media. Complain about everything. Like if Armen, and it's not even complaining. It's the passive aggressive sniping that comes. Like if Armen, if you post, like let's say you post something on X. Now that you got your X account back,
I have an example, but go ahead. Actually, I have an example.
Armen could post, "I love apples. There's nothing better than a Honey Crisp or a Macintosh."
Sure.
And then the first comment will be, "Why do you hate oranges?"
I'm literally shaking. How can you hate oranges? Well, you please issue an apology to oranges.
And so bitching and moaning about stuff like that.
There is.
So I've thought for years that we should have like the wine line or the wine list, WHINE,
I like
the wine
that.
list.
The wine list, yeah.
So today, yesterday you could be whining about the 99-degree temperatures if you don't like hot weather. Today you can whine about the smoke because it's in the back of your throat. Can't escape it. We're inside in the air conditioning. And it still sucks. And I got this like tickle and it's like affecting my sinuses in the back of my throat. And I hate it.
You know, it's an inverse relationship to the easier life gets through history for humans.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're at the most comfortable time in history to live, right? Obviously, when you think about it, I mean, like, how they go to the bathroom in the Middle Ages. I think about stuff like that in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, trying to get ready for the show. Like, what do they do so I think about those things, like what were diapers like in 1200? There wasn't. So It is the easiest time ever to live in civilization, yet there's an inverse quality of the amount of people complaining about it, right? It seems to be constantly. I mean, the amount that people complain now about air travel, which I get, there are days when you're in it and probably frustrating, delays, this and that. You are flying in a metal tube in the sky.
Yeah.
One of the biggest miracles of human civilization, and we're complaining about it.
Of course.
These trips used to take weeks, months. You used to not hear from people going transatlantic for years through letter. It's just wild, but now we complain about it. So Here's a good example of what you're saying. As you know, Drew, I was hacked on Twitter. It has been an ordeal for me. Finally got my Twitter account going again after about a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I learned some things being off Twitter. It was an interesting experience because I learned some things about myself, about what we value, what we don't. I learned that it's not that damn important in the end. Social media, we give an outsized importance to it.
Of course.
The dopamine rush we get to it, while it's nice to have, and I enjoy for what it is, talking to fans, talking to sports fans, talking to our friends, our colleagues, reading up on what's going on in the world. We give an outsized importance to social media. At first it's scary. It's like flying without a net. And then it's incredibly liberating to know, you know what? This isn't that big of a deal. And then I get right back on Twitter and I get something that I missed for a long time. We posted the show video yesterday. Billy and I get a response from somebody, Mike, what's with the hat backwards with you and Armen? And I said, it's just easier with the headphones. And I try and look cool, just trying to be funny. I like to wear the hat. Billy always wears one backwards. And he said, how about looking professional instead? It's not a good look, Armen. So there you go. One day back on Twitter, and someone's complaining that I'm wearing a hat on the video stream. And so it's just an example of what we're talking about. Well, that's true. Right?
And the danger is, everybody's got a voice. And our text line, we love the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, 877-794-1973. We love our comments on the YouTube stream and stuff. But what happens is that we're conditioned now, and I used to work with a guy who, he'd be like, well, people are saying this. Who said that? One guy on Twitter.
One guy on Twitter. That's what it is.
And one idiot said that, and you think that's the general consensus. And that's how Twitter isn't real life. The text line's not real life.
Not real life. It's
not an indicator of what people think of the quality of the show. And
social media.
I've learned that early on. It's like, because I used to get back in the day when I was working for the Journal Sentinel, every once in a while, I'd get people would sit down and write a letter to you, like before email even. And they put they put a stamp on it, and you have to return address, and they'd sign it. They would tell you how much you sucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Well, my dog still likes me. It's like, it's okay. I learned early on, let's just let that stuff slide. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's funny because
I care if my boss thinks I suck, because that might be an issue. But if Fred from Janesville thinks our show sucks, I'll thanks. Have a good day.
You do feel like you develop a sort of crust to defend yourself against it, because it could come so fast and so hard with all the comments and things like that, and you're like, I'm just not even paying attention anymore. And then you realize that these internet streets are not real life. Walk on the real streets and you touch grass, as they say.
People will say stuff to you that they would never say.
We just get so lost in the sauce of the internet sometimes. It is pretty amazing. I heard an influencer say to describe her job the best in 2026, successful influencers, and a lot of times, unfortunately, females, that their job basically in 2026 is being insulted for a living, because most of the comments now for people are just right away, they go to the negative. They want to insult you. And a lot of it is whatever, jealousy, whatever it is. But it is crazy that you think, sometimes you're like, why do we even deal with this type of thing, the social media thing? And we assign so much importance to it. And it's like,
and again, like people that I got this back in the email days, I got an email from a guy because I got a name wrong in a Brewers game story. Like about 2/3 of the way through a Brewers game story, I misidentified a guy because it was a common last name. And I think it was like Lopez or.
So you made a mistake.
Made a mistake, and the guy said that I should be fired. And like, why do you have this job? And I'm like, and I told the guy what I had been through, because I had flight delays. I got to this game in the 3rd inning, and I was scrambling. I say, so basically, what happened is, imagine you go to a restaurant and you don't know it, but your waitress is not, on point, and yet she had a flat tire on the way to work. Had to maneuver that. Got to work. And the other server was off, and she's handling 2 sections.
Yep. And the kitchen was late.
The kitchen was late with stuff because they're down because people are sick. And then she put down, you ordered white wine, and your wife ordered red and she put the glasses down in front of the wrong person. And all you had to do was kind of like switch them. But you saying that she should be fired because of that mistake.
Yeah.
I said, that's, and then invariably, whenever you came back at somebody like that, they'd be, I was just having a bad day. I'm sorry.
Right.
I read your stuff. I like your stuff, but they just wanted to vent in that moment.
And they also, I think,
but you hit send, you compose this email and hit send saying I should be fired because I got a name wrong at the end of near the end of a 750 word game story.
And I think that the other thing is like, they hit send. There's also this disconnect. It happens a lot in social media. And I think to your case, probably in the old times with the letter, there's a disconnect that the person on the other end is actually a real person. And you forget that sometimes. Yes. And you forget that they're just a human like you that might have had a human mistake. Mistakes happen, gone through something or didn't.
Yeah.
And it like people almost forget that. And they think, they do it with athletes a lot, right?
Well, they do all the time.
A lot with athletes. Yeah. It's like, well, they're human just like you. Like you forget this is actually a real person. And there's a disconnect that we have sometimes for some reason. And I think it's exacerbated with social media that the person on the other end is actually a real person. You know?
Well, now here we are encouraging people to complain about stuff because if we start this wine list, one of the things, and shout out to our friends in the 608 Madison, give them some love because it's a slow time for Badger athletics. I mean, Sean Eichhorst is getting established and we're getting ready for football camp to start. And so it's kind of a slow time on campus and just with the Badgers. But I was just reading a friend of mine who lives in Madison. Shout out to 608, all our listeners there, longtime listeners on 1070. You don't hear we complain about our traffic and our problems, but my friend was driving back from up north of the wall.
What is the
where the smoke was bad? He was in Minocqua, way up there.
Way up there, where everyone loves going. Everyone's going to
Minocqua's in New York County.
Yeah.
He was driving back, and he had spent the day there, and the smoke was really bad, and it was hot, like unseasonably, ungodly hot for that portion of the state, and the smoke was bad. And then on his way back, he got word that I-39 was closed south of Portage because of a massive accident. So he had to wheel around to 51 to avoid the mess. And once he got into Madison, the eastbound belt line was at a full stop from the Interstate West past Fish Hatchery Road. So it was 6 miles of a parking lot. And then he had to go to the east side, and the belt line was screwed up. So John Nolan Drive is torn up, and he had to try to get around Capitol Square just around 5 o'clock, which is not ideal if you live in Madison. A nightmare. So he drove 7.5 miles in an hour and 12 minutes.
Wow.
And he's got the ass about it.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, why?
It's frustrating.
And I think of Madison's traffic, it can't be as bad as Milwaukee's, but it can if you've been on that belt line.
Absolutely, it can.
And it can be, everybody's got their frustrations. And
the one-way streets around the Capitol.
And the one-way streets around the Capitol. And Madison is growing, and they're adding population, and they're building apartments, and people want to live there because it's a very desirable place to be.
Sure.
But the roads ain't getting any bigger, and the traffic's not going to get better, right? And so the wine line could be a place for people like that. So the wine list, we might have to do a wine list on our show. Let's get Ernest and Julio Gallo or Kendall Jackson or somebody to sponsor the wine list. A wine bar.
Come on, we don't care.
Discount liquor, somebody who sells wine, raise wine and liquor spirits. But we might have to do a wine list
Cooper's Hawk.
Because it is such a it is the pastime is complaining about stuff. So what's the wine list?
We also want like a safe place for people to do it. It's okay to do it every now and then.
But if it's and then but the thing is, and it is cathartic. Like my thing on The Office is,
I whine more than anybody. Let's be honest.
There's a lot, like when you're in the office, you bitch about management and the boss is an idiot. Some of it is good, but there's a line where it gets toxic. And some of it is good and healthy and fun. And I call that recreational ragging.
Sure, of course.
Like we're recreationally ragging.
Like when I joke about why aren't the construction streets done yet? I mean, I don't know how long Layton's been going.
Recreational ragging is like, like why hasn't this happened yet? Or, hey, these idiots, the towel dispenser in the men's room doesn't work, whatever. Recreational ragging. But as long as it's not toxic, it can be healthy and cathartic to a point. But we might have to start a wine list here on the show.
I like
just
that.
saying.
A wine list. And we can participate in that too. We will. Ace and Waukesha. Madison is blank show right now at the construction everywhere. I'm not whining about it. I'm just stating a fact. Love you guys. Have a good day. Thank you, Ace.
Well, and
find some air.
Again, shout out to our friends in Madison because we live in Milwaukee.
we broadcast to you as well. You're part of us.
Yeah, they're part of us too. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. A wine, I like that one. We're all whining about the the flowers. We wouldn't be whining about wildflowers. We're whining about the wildfires today.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good gripe. Now, I'm not sure anything will change, and this is nature after all, but to complain about it is something you can. If you're looking for small talk with a neighbor, this would be it.
And that's the thing. Yeah, we talk about how hot it was the last couple of days, and now, we've got explosive diarrhea spreading around. You're worried about eating lettuce on your sandwich. I went and had a sandwich yesterday, had lettuce on. I'm like, oh.
Didn't they open it at the Uline stage at Summerfest?
Explosive diarrhea.
Yeah.
They're playing the rave tomorrow night.
Playing with the butthole surfer.
And then they're the Orpheum in Madison after that. So, all right, 877-794-1973. People were bitching about the Brewers trade. Why does this make sense? A guy who's old and hurt all the time. Like, we don't know. And what are you complaining about? They gave up Jaden Fielder and some money. That's not yours. And it's not their only move. But so maybe not whining about the Lance McCullers acquisition.
I just don't understand that.
And Colton Gordon.
It's not going to be big. Like, it's not necessarily supposed to be the big trade. So if you're underwhelmed by it, it's not.
I just hope that Lance McCullers doesn't spend a lot of time on our Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin injury report. OrthoWisconsin.com is the website to learn about the best orthopedic outfit in the state. World-class care right in our backyard. Clinic opening in Johnson Creek. Check them out. Check out the website, OrthoWisconsin.com. I had my hip replaced there. I'm thinking about doing the other one because it's so awesome. Check out OrthoWisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. But if Lance McCullers gets hurt right away, people be flashing back. They're bitching about the Trevor Rosenthal deal years ago that, led to Tristan Peters being an all-star for the White Sox. That the Brewers let him get away. And so did the Rays. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. So
had to give up Jaden Fielder in the trade. Maybe some people upset about that. I'm not really sure. I don't think people were paying attention to him other than knowing he was, part of the organization. But now you have Karsten Sabathia.
Yeah.
Carson, the son of CeCe.
Yeah.
Of course, CeCe stood for Carson Charles. I don't know if people knew that. So another Carson.
That is a good point.
Karsten.
That is a good point. So, yeah, again, the wine list could be fun. We might have to, if we can get it sponsored, perhaps. If anyone knows a wine retailer, perhaps, or a wine bar, Cooper's Hawk.
Would love to.
Ray's, Otto's, Discount Liquor, friend of the show, Marie over there. Discount Liquor does a great job. They got incredible wine selection. If they can't find it, you can't get it. There's a wine bar near my house that I stop at once in a while. It's really cool. So, yeah, the wine list might be a thing. So stay tuned for developments on the wine list. It could be a good way to dump the bucket, I
think it is. And
hot take hump day, whatever.
Well, I had mine earlier about the love for these golf courses that people love, like Augusta and like St. Andrews. Okay, so I've got a lot of disagreement, 100% disagreement. Jeffrey from Milwaukee is pushing back. He's complaining. Armen, your golf course comparison is absolutely terrible. You go to nice courses compared to your county or cheaper public courses, and it's night and day. It's the same when going to a minor league stadium or the majors. Every golf course is different and maintained differently, and they have different nooks and crannies. Well, I agree with that. I know that. I mean, and my point is, a course can be maintained as much as an expensive course cannot be maintained. So you can maintain a course as well as but the point is, a famous one is the same thing as the ones that are cheaper, not famous, but also well maintained. It's just grass, trees, and water. Now that's the disagreement, I guess. But so Jeffrey doesn't like my take either. So there you go, wine list. There you go. I like this. Keep it up.
We got a text from someone saying that they were a little leery about the Nate Ahmet pick by the Bucks. He scored 23 yesterday.
He had a good game, and there's another one. People were complaining about him to no end on Bucks Twitter.
And he scored 23. It's like, I said,
this kid
might be okay.
Pump the brakes. Like,
you got to give young players a little runway, don't you?
I mean, this is summer league and like 3 games in.
Yeah.
So it's like, now he looked better last night. So
and he's going to look better 3 years from now than he does right now.
We don't need to litigate guys every day. No, it's fun to do it sometimes. But
no, we don't. We absolutely don't. All right. 877-794-1973 gets you to the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, which it might be the wine list right there if you got something to whine about. One thing we don't complain about is catching up with our buddy Matt Mueller, a man about film. We got to talk to him about all things movies, culture, and just catch up with the new dad, Matt Mueller. He's up next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew and Armen bringing it to you. Billy's off today. It's been too long since we heard that walk-up song. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Our returning champion, our pal, a man about film, our go-to guy, Mr. Matt Mueller.
Howdy.
Amigo.
How are we doing, amigos?
You know what, Matt? I've been playing Careless Whisper for you for a while. Maybe I should change it to Big Papa. How's dad life going?
Hey, now.
Dad life's treating me pretty good. The Mr. Baby's been really good. He's giving us extended sleep at night, which
Come
is
on
really
now.
great.
He's sleeping well. That's the first question you get, right? All the time. Yeah.
Yep. Though we are bracing for the impact of the 4-month sleep regression.
You get those regressions.
So that's exciting. That's fun. We got that on the horizon, but he's great. He's starting to smile, starting to laugh, which is great for me because I need that crowd appreciation.
I know.
You need it.
Laura always joked with me like I was waiting for the affirmation to get the smiles back or to get the reaction. I was like, come on. It's got to be happening soon. You're 2 months old now. So the first couple months, you're just trying to get sleep. And it's crazy because Lena just turned 2 and all my Snapchats come back of the newborn days happening like these 2 weeks a couple of years ago. So it becomes very nostalgic, even though she's obviously not that old yet, but she becomes a toddler. So they change very quickly and rapidly, and their stages change, as you know, too, Drew. So you're as an adult now. So
it's that tricky thing some afternoons where it's like the baby's like napping on you, and you're like, I should move the baby to the bassinet so that way I can like achieve something today, so I can like get a task done around the house. But at the same time, like, this isn't going to happen forever. Like,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm in
bonding.
the fun phase right now. You know, you move in and out of phases, and some are a lot more fun than the others. But right now, it's a fun one.
It's funny because you're in that stage. When I was home, because of my schedule back in the day, I had winters off, and I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But at that time, there was no social media. There wasn't a lot going on. And so what did I do? I watched gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Mark Chmura trial.
Oh, gosh, yeah. That's a time.
That's how I spent my days. Court TV. That's how I spent my days. You, on the other hand, have the World Cup. You had the Giannis thing to sift through. You've had a lot of distractions.
So many Bravo reality TV shows.
Oh, well, Brewers season going well.
Yeah, the World Cup has been great for baby watching because it's also not too loud. Like it is like a pretty like just low hum in the background for the baby.
Just the din of the ambient sound and stuff.
Yeah. So that's been a really enjoyable watch. Frankly, I'm gonna need them to do another World Cup this summer. You know,
yeah.
I need to do a round 2 so that way I've got something more to watch. Like, and let's put it in a different country. Like, I am fine with a 4 a.m. wake up now.
Well, I had the Paris Olympics. Remember that, Drew, that summer? So it was Paris Olympics. There's something to watch in the middle of the night. You know,
yes,
exactly. I'll watch fencing at 5:30 in the morning.
A really good friend of mine got hooked on soccer. He had never watched it, but he was up late, and that was the only thing that was on at the time. And he was like, taking care of his screaming newborn, watching soccer, and he realized that, hey, you attack the goal, same as hockey. It's very similar. I like this. This is a good game, and he got hooked.
Funny how when you watch really good soccer, it's really good. Like, I think maybe that's America's problem with it. Is that most of the soccer we watch is like grade school church league soccer and the MLS, which is generally like a retirement league for the most part.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
As a new first-time parent, Matt Mueller, have you made your way to theaters recently? There's a lot going on at the box office.
I've been lucky. Remy has been very cooperative, and I have a really wonderful wife who I've gotten to the theater still. So I got to see Obsession. I got to see Backrooms. I made the poor mistake of seeing the new Evil Dead movie. I've gotten to see a lot of the stuff I wanted to see, and a lot of. I still haven't seen the new Star Wars, which it sounds like me and the rest of America have that in common. Haven't gotten to see the new Moana, which again seems like something me and the rest of America have in common.
What about Toy Story 5?
That's another.
I'm hoping to get to Toy Story 5 still. I'm hoping to. I'm bracing for impact because a movie about raising a child is going to probably hit a lot harder than it would have 6 months ago, 9 months ago.
Yeah, but I think I didn't see it, but I think I read that someone was complaining they missed the thematic tone that you got in the first few. And I'm like, well, this is a 5th sequel, even though it's animated. How many times can you get the thematic tone when it's, Air
I've
Bud
heard this
to
is
the
the
next
most
generation.
disposable. Yeah, I've heard this is the most disposable of the 5 Toy Story movies. And I do, something I always appreciate about the Toy Story movies is how much they've grown up with their main
Correct.
audience. You and me, we grew up with it. We were the kids at the time when Toy Story was prime our age. And then the second movie kind of develops those themes a little bit more. And then literally Toy Story 3 is a movie about going away to college when you
Magnum
and me were
opus.
going away to college and, and stuff like that. So it hits even harder. And so it's a fascinating series that is aware of its audience and where they're at. But I do think, 5 entries, it's really hard to make 5 really, really good entries in a series. You almost get the impression that maybe, sometimes you got to just, call it a day and say we did good.
Yeah, that's what they say about American Pie, the Beta House.
Here.
I'm sorry.
The American Pie franchise is just like Toy Story. Equal quality.
We're burying the lead here because the big story is about to push everything to the side. Christopher Nolan was already a Hall of Famer, but he is apparently, according to early reports and 98% of critics early, The Odyssey is going to be it. It is going to be the movie of the summer, the year, the decade. What do you think? Can it live up to the hype? Because the hype is real.
Yeah, I mean, it's his biggest blank check movie in a career that's now had a bunch of blank check movies. He comes off of a $1 billion World War II movie that won Best Picture, and then they were like, "What do you want to do next?" And he was like, "I want to make The Odyssey." And it's crazy that we're excited for a sword and sandal movie because it's been a really long time since the sword and sandal genre has been relevant. I mean, Gladiators 25 years ago at this point. The last time a sword and sandal movie made good money was like 300, and 300's more of a comic book movie. Like, that's so stylized, like a traditional, guys with swords fighting in a desert and stuff like that. I mean, people like Troy now. Troy flopped at the time. It'll be really interesting. It sounds like it's going to open huge this weekend. It sounds like the reviews are really good, and that means that it'll probably continue to make money. But this has kind of been the movie everyone's been waiting for, to see what Christopher Nolan's going to do with this classic story that everybody knows and has been told multiple times before. What's the different take here? Sounds like his take's exciting. I'm seeing it tonight. I'm going to the IMAX tonight. I'm getting 3 hours of non-baby time to go watch the new Christopher Nolan. So very excited about that.
Go enjoy a mythological.
Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, Robert Pattinson.
Anyone who starred in a movie that's made money is in The Odyssey.
Yes, in the Odyssey.
I think about The Odyssey, I think Matt Damon, not that he won't do well, I'm just being funny. He's been great in everything. But
all right, so when it's filmed in IMAX, right? So it's like that's
the entire movie. Like, I believe this is the first time a whole movie has been filmed with IMAX cameras, which is extremely hard because IMAX cameras are extremely heavy and they're bulky and they're not designed for things like action scenes like this.
So that hurt.
Here's the thing that I want to ask, Matt. It's like the visual thing is going to be striking. Can that offset like mediocre storytelling? Because it seems like, according to the critics, this is both. Like, this is both visually and emotionally on point.
Yeah, he tends to find a way to kind of make visuals that look real. Because, I mean, he doesn't do a lot of CGI. He doesn't do a lot of, computer special effects. They're still involved, of course. I mean, he didn't bend a French, he didn't literally pick up a French road in Inception and bend it for it. But, and obviously you can't make a Cyclops. But he does have a really good way of doing in-camera effects and stuff like that. But yeah, the story's classic. It's Homer. It's one of the original stories of stories. So I think as long as you're still kind of, playing with the themes there and doing some smart stuff there. I mean, at this point, I have to trust him, right? Everyone thought he was insane for being like, I need $150 million to make a movie about the guy who invented the nuclear bomb. The movie's going to be 3 hours long and mostly in black and white. And you have to trust that people are going to show up and I know what I'm doing. And he knew what he was doing and people showed up. This is a guy who's consistently doing things that shouldn't make money and they make money. And he does really impressive things with them. So I'm really excited to see what he does here. I'm excited to see, Matt Damon in like a big challenging role. A lot of times Matt Damon can just be playing Matt Damon. So I'll be interested to see what he's doing here.
Yeah.
And it'll be really cool to see a movie that feels this big. Even if they weren't filming on IMAX, you watch a Christopher Nolan movie and even, dialogue scenes between two people in a kitchen feels massive, feels huge. And now this is arguably the biggest story in history. So it'll be really interesting to see how he makes that feel so grand, so massive in the way that his best movies do.
Is Hollywood coming back a $10 billion a year on the offing?
This feels like the closest, people always ask me, Matt, is the box office back or movie theaters back? And this summer has felt this year has felt the closest to what a normal, good, healthy box office should look like. Yes, obviously sequels and blockbusters are making money, but, you've got some original movies up there. You've got stuff like Obsession and Backrooms, which I know is based on a Reddit meme, but still is original to most people. Obviously The Odyssey is a book adaptation, but it's not like everyone's like, that classic Homer IP, and, Wuthering Heights made money. It just feels like there's a lot more balance right now and a lot more enthusiasm for things that are new. The fact that Moana flopped through the floor is really reassuring to see because audiences are finally like, no, we have a good Moana at home. We don't need the Temu version of Moana. Like, we know this is a money grab. So it's nice to see audiences responding that way to like the obvious stuff and then being like, yeah, I want to see what we're doing with The Odyssey. I want to see an original werewolf movie by Robert Eggers, the stuff people are excited about. And I know I'm saying this all, and in 2 weeks, the new Spider-Man movie is going to come out.
Well, I was just going to say, if you're too scared of change and anything new, you still have a DC movie and a Spider-Man movie. Am I right?
Well,
isn't there?
Right. And listen, again,
right?
This is healthy. There's always been sequels. There's always been, IP. There's always been this stuff. But for about a decade or so there, it was really reliant on exclusively those things. And Hollywood is not fixed by any means. And it's not like, I'm sure I will read a headline today that they're greenlighting, I don't know, Polly Pocket the movie or something. They already tried that. But they'll greenlight some other bad idea. But the fact that audiences are like, no, we really want to see Send Help. We want to see, the drama, the Zendaya Robert Pattinson movie. Like that's really exciting to me that audiences are showing up for stuff that Hollywood hasn't been making and audiences haven't been showing up for in a while.
It's funny because you go by the coverage and the churn of stories about box office movies and actual movies in theaters outstrips, The Bear. It's like the Netflix, the TV stuff. Now maybe it'll change when Ted Lasso fires up again because people are obsessed with soccer right now. And I know the NBC is excited because Premier League is going to get a big bump from this World Cup run when they fire up. Mm-hmm. But Ted Lasso. But it seems like the tide is shifting back to away from the streaming shows.
Well, and you're seeing, Netflix really wants to get into live programming now, even more so. And they're getting, they're trying to find their next
home run
move.
derby
sports.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember, was The Bear like a big drop at once release or is that a weekly? Was that a weekly?
It was all once. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the streamers are moving away from that because, man, unless it is a Stranger Things or a Squid Game or something like that where it becomes a sensation, it's just really hard to dump all your episodes at once and be like, we're going to get a month or two of good coverage. Realistically, you got a weekend of coverage.
That's the thing. They want the hype. They want the drama of people talking about the next season. And they also want the protection of not having to put too much money into something that they don't know is going to work yet. Right,
yeah.
Isn't that the other factor?
Yeah, but look at The Pit. The Pit was a weekly release, and therefore, like each week, you had people talking about that episode and building up excitement. Yeah. The new Game of Thrones, it's starting to get a little bit of momentum right now. And again, that's weekly release. So every week, you get a new excited press cycle. You get a new excited audience. Whereas these binge drops, I think it's getting more and more clear that you just can't maintain that level of excitement unless you are a of the moment, phenomenon. And how often can you have a phenomenon?
Tiger King. Yeah. How often can you have Tiger King?
Maybe it's me, and you can call me an old curmudgeon, but I would rather see stories and stuff hit my timeline about the Odyssey and maybe even the Bear than freaking Love Island. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. Junk food.
I will
TV,
say, I have a
right?
new respect for crummy reality TV, though, because when you are a new father, when you are a new parent,
oh yes,
like reality TV is the perfect background noise because it is dramatic and it is, it's engaging, but it is negative brain cell use. I would love to be using this time to like watching streaming movies and watching the catching up on movies I've missed over the years and stuff like that. But my brain just doesn't have the brain power. So it's like, man, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Here we go. Let's see what Joe Ellen's
chewing gum for the eyes.
Yeah, it's a Swanson Hungry Man dinner where you just didn't want to make food, but you wanted something that's salty and good,
Yeah. Is it even a Hungry Man meal? Like this is like sub Hungry Man. This is like raw frozen chicken breasts. Like
you're right. This is Taco Bell DoorDash. No, but listen, hey, I don't know what the conversation was like when you had to tell your wife, sorry, honey, I'm leaving the newborn baby to go watch the new Jackass movie. How was that? Did you do that?
I did. I did.
I knew it.
I did tell my wife, listen, I'm
nostalgic at this point.
It's for work, honey.
It's a fun movie. It's a clip show. Like the last Jackass movie is the last proper Jackass movie. This one is like some deleted scenes and like a few fun new clips. But they're funny. I like these guys. I like hanging out with them. And the stuff is funny, and it's a kind of melancholy look back, which is a weird thing to be like, the melancholy of the Jackass movies.
In a way, it's actually it's more interesting because instead of just getting that shovel to you, you get like an actual reflection of what the entire life was, the process, and everyone growing up and getting older in a lot of ways. So.
Yeah, I mean, Knoxville cries briefly in the he gets teared up talking about it, and you're like, I get it, man. Like the way you guys have grown up in front and the lives you've lived, the intense lives that many of these guys have gone through.
Father time comes for all of us.
Man.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Don't expect like any new great I don't think there's any classic bits in it.
Yeah.
But you get to see a bunch of classic bits from the past. I mean, the golf course one is in there, and that's one of the just funniest things they've done.
It's got to be like when the Three Stooges were getting real old, but still parading themselves in a new thing, right? When they were in the 60s and 70s, like we can't hit Curly anymore, but we still are here.
Yeah. It's a little bit like that. It's like it's truly like Rolling Stones on their final tour thing, where it's like they don't have the energy, they don't have or it's like seeing Willie Nelson right now, where Willie Nelson can't do much on stage. He stands there, he can't really move much. He raises his hand, he doesn't interact much. But you're seeing somebody you love and somebody who has a warmth for what he does and a warmth for the crowd. So you're happy to be there for it. And boy, sorry, Willie Nelson, if you're offended that I compared you to the Jackass movie.
Well, here's the thing. It's you walk outside your house right now and it's like you're in Willie Nelson's tour bus because of the smoke from Canadian flares.
I'm looking around right now and I feel like I'm in a World War movie or something.
It's a good time to be bunkered in because you don't want to leave your house right now. So just hang around with the newborn. Matt Miller, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Good to reconnect. My brother, we'll talk to you down the line.
Fellas, a dang pleasure. Talk to you later.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Matt Miller, I'm Mad About Film on the X and the Substack, our go-to guy with all things movies. When we come back, the show's already over. Armen, we made it through day one without Billy.
Yeah.
We'll soldier on again tomorrow. But when we come back, it's our wake and bake time from happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. We got a good one today. It's going to make you not laugh, but it's going to make you go, oh my goodness. It is The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Oh, my goodness. Time to close up shop. The Thursday edition of the Huddle, the smoky edition, the smoke on the water, smoke everywhere edition of the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, Drew and Armen bringing it to you. We close out the show with our Wake and Bake story from HappyPlaceHemp.com. Rob and Chris work out of Muskego to make the best CBD products under the banner of Happy Place Hemp, Elevated Hemp Solutions, technically. And you can order them. You can buy them in person in the store in Muskego, or if you want to order them online, they ship very quickly. Use the code HUDDLE for 25% off your order and free shipping. Drift seltzers, gummies, Delta 8s, sleep aids. They have muscle cream balms. Put the balm on, Armen. Who told you to put the balm on?
Who told you to put the balm on? I didn't say you put the balm on.
They got lotions. They got pet products. They got the pet CBD so they can mellow out your pet if they're afraid of just in general, if they're hyper or if they need to just rough out the smooth edges, and especially around fireworks time. Or it's coming up on the air show, which is also it's equally as disturbing because those planes fly out of nowhere and the sonic boom.
They do, man. They're
loud
just,
as hell. I'm not a big fan of air shows in general.
They're just what's the term they use in the fighter pilot world? They're I don't know what the term is.
They're buzzing the tower.
Buzzing the tower. That's
buzzing the tower. All right. Well, our Wake and Bake story today brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Comes to us from Florida.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
Of course, Drew.
Claremont, Florida.
Hello.
A pair of Florida school principals, were arrested just hours apart after police pulled over the same Jeep twice for alleged drunk driving.
Jesus. So how'd they get? Oh, my goodness.
Jennifer Jimenez, the principal of Pinecrest Academy, was pulled over around 2 a.m. after drifting into an oncoming lane and striking a curb. She admitted to police that she'd been drinking earlier in the day and was arrested by the Claremont Police Department. Her passenger, Christina Alcade, principal of neighboring Pinecrest Lakes Academy, was deemed too impaired to drive, and deputies got her a ride share home. So she Ubered home.
Yeah.
2 hours later, Claremont police pulled over the exact same Jeep and found Alcade, the passenger who had been Ubered home, behind the wheel. She was headed to jail to bond out her friend Jimenez.
Oh, my goodness.
And she was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving. In the same vehicle, 2 hours later, they both pleaded not guilty to DUI and refusing DUI testing. You think that these people are going to keep their careers? That's the kind of thing that is a career breaker, isn't it?
Yeah,
that judgment.
I would say so.
Especially for the second woman who was Ubered home. Like, why didn't you just take an Uber to get your friend bonded out?
She had a chance to maybe avoid any issue.
Yes.
And she blew it, literally.
That is a wake and bake story of the highest order.
Unbelievable.
It's like, what are you, stupid?
And these are principals.
Yes. In charge of elementary education.
Well, good. I'm glad those jobs will be open and maybe a quality candidate will be available for those jobs. That's unbelievable.
Absolutely stunning. Thanks to Matt Mueller and Scott Dolphin for joining the party today. Thanks for all of our 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock club members. We got one more day and then I'm going on vacation after tomorrow. Billy is off tomorrow. We made it through, Armen. We're going to do it again tomorrow. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.